Thanks for nothing, Google.
What I wanted to show you is how easy it is to watch yourself and other live streams on your tablet device.
On the computer.
On the computer.
Yeah.
Go ahead and hit play there.
Okay.
It's
oh,
right there
I see.
in my.
It's so simple.
Do you see your face?
Oh yeah, it's me with a huge fat fucking face.
Yeah, I didn't want to be the one to say it.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of trouble. My doctor, he said he's not a very nice guy. He said, open your mouth and say oink.
Yeah, you need to get better insurance, Norm.
Insurance? He was calling me a fat pig.
Well, I mean, nobody's going to disagree with him.
Oh, chasm.
I'm sorry, Norm. I've got an acid tongue.
You do. You're an acid-tongued Arab. And there's Charles Woodson. How about that? What a season he had. Great, man. He became the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. And congratulations, Charles. That is something that no one can ever take away from you. Unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case, all bets are off.
Yeah.
I love Lost. You ever watch Lost?
Yeah, I'm obsessed with the show. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm still watching it.
I watch it. I watch it on the
Link?
No, yeah.
You got that working?
On the computer, where you can watch like you can watch them right after each other. So you don't have. There's no cliffhanger, you know.
Yeah,
you
I know about that.
You probably watched it six.
Do you think I'm 80?
No, you probably watched the show though.
I did. I watched it during.
So that must have been incredibly frustrating.
No, it wasn't. Why would you say that?
Well, because I couldn't wait 30 seconds to get into it on my DVD.
Sometimes it's better to space things out, though, and discuss it with your friends, have a little talk about what happened, and then you have to wait a week, and it's delayed gratification.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. That's what's fun about a book club. But
We're joined by the talented trio called the Lonely Island.
Yeah,
who will be on the
big.
What do you call them?
I call them Sandberg and the other couple of fellows.
The Mind Squad is how Rolling Stone put it.
I got a heavy foot.
There's a real stream of consciousness thing happening here, Norm.
Yeah, it's called conversation. So, in all sincerity, I know you don't like to hear these things. Emotions, you're like Nixon and
I'm like Nixon.
But I will say, I was watching last night, I saw speed skating, and my goodness, could the outfits they wear be any tighter? Holy Lord. There was an East German woman, I swear, you could see the outline of her entire penis. It was... This is Viagra. It's insane. And you know what it's for? Impotent people. All right, it's for impotent guys. So get this. I read this. The pill can make your cock hard for 4 hours.
Right.
So now, who has the 4-hour hard cock? The impotent guy. The rest of us are fucked. Me and you got our regular cocks. Meanwhile, fucking Spade is, Of course, that's the big story in here in Washington is the recent marriage between NBC's Andrea Mitchell and Alan Greenspan, who is 71 years old. And this is sweet, I didn't know this. They wrote their own vows, She promised to love, honor, and speak into his good ear. So that was it's kind of sweet,
We'll see. It'll be fun.
Hey,
Norm, thanks for dressing up.
Hey, Sarah, listen, man. Congratulations. That's the 100th time that joke's been done tonight. But I also want to tell you, I do like that he picked Kemp. I like Kemp.
Oh, yeah?
He had a strange thing. Did you hear that quote he said? He said he's closer to minorities than the other candidates because he says he showered with a lot of black guys. Did you hear that?
What?
He says because he used to be on the Buffalo Bills.
That's right, he was a football player. Is that true? He said that?
Yeah, he said that the other day. He said he has a closer feel for the minorities because he's showered with so many black guys.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know if that's, how you want to pick your president, right?
showered with a lot of black guys? I don't know. I mean, you're picking Dole because he can do an impression. Yeah, you know, your reasons aren't much better. If I was going to pick a guy just because he's showered with a lot of black guys, I'd pick Andy or something like that, you know? You know? People don't have to know that.
Oh, I have an announcement to read. I almost forgot. I was told to make this announcement. Table 10, wherever you are, table 10. We're sorry your waitress hasn't been there in a while. Larry King just married her. So.
Do you have a hero? Norman Fell from Three's Company. That's your hero? Yeah. Mr. Roper. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Roper? Yeah. That's not a good hero. That's all I got. Better than this guy's hero is some gay porn actor. Anyway. What are you talking about? What? I don't know.
Boomer Esiason is with us. Boomer. How you doing, buddy? Boomer, of course, will replace Frank Gifford on Monday Night Football next season. And Frank told reporters that this will allow him to spend more time with his wife and children. Then he broke down and cried for 45 minutes. So, what the hell am I? And here I am, you know, I look out, I see President Bill Clinton, you know, I see Secretary of State Madeleine Albright, you know, media mogul Rupert Murdoch, you know, broadcast legend Larry King, you know, pornographer Larry Flint, you know, Dick Morris. The list is starting to drop off a little, folks, but still, you get the idea. It's daunting. Well, there's all kinds of sports celebrities in the audience tonight. I see Tiger Woods right there. Tiger Woods, how about that, huh? Yeah, he's up for golf. Of course, he's up for Golfer of the Year this ESPYs. And you know who I feel sorry for, folks, is the other two guys nominated for Golfer of the Year. You see these guys getting ready, you know, it's like, hey, honey, have you seen my tuxedo? No, not the good one. The one I wear when I'm going to get my ass kicked. Have you seen that one? We got a lot of power here, a lot of juice. Mr. Rule Arledge is here, of course, the chairman of ABC News, you know, and a lot of crazy stories coming out of that division, you know. You know, stories about this person sleeping with that person and all that, you know. Scandal after scandal. If you heard the latest, I heard this just the other day. There's a rumor that last week, a certain, I don't want to say who it is, a certain gentleman in ABC News, he went to a party and he got really drunk and he ended up having sex with his own wife. I don't know. I also noticed that desserts are different nowadays. When I was young, the waiter would come and he'd go, what do you want for dessert? Cherry pie or apple pie? And you go, I will have a cherry pie. And a guy would bring one. It was very simple, you know. Things were very simple back then. Now, desserts, oh my Lord. The guy shows up and he's got a big tray, a canted angle, and every confection known to man is on it. And I don't like the way he talks, like, because he doesn't talk like the pork chop talk anymore. All of a sudden, for the dessert, he's like, oh, sexual undertones, you know. I mean, he's all like, ah. Why are you saying ah like that? He's like, ah. May I tempt you with something? Tempt me? You like decadent things? Well, I don't. I hope you left some room in your belly. Okay, listen. Are we still talking about desserts here? What's going on? I don't want to end up blowing you in the bathroom or something.
Guy gave me a keychain, a plastic keychain.
Well, that guy is a moron. How do I get the supermodel back? Hey, look, $1.99 at the airport. He really gave you a
He gave me a
keychain?
plastic. I was going to bring it out, but I couldn't get it off of my keys, so I left it in the backstage. But he gave me a keychain.
Why didn't you bring out the G-string?
Long.
I know to smoke.
I'll smoke it for you if you
No,
no.
No, I'm trying to.
I just figured it would be rude not to offer you a light.
It's nice, but I'm trying not to. And I feel if I
sitting there with a cigarette,
I feel if I took one puff. I have an oral fixation, my doctor tells me, which is not good.
How did he know that?
I was sucking his cock.
You know, this guy Milos Forman.
Yeah, he's a big director.
So he saw me on Saturday Night Live, so he got the idea I was smart.
I always thought that.
Everybody always thought that.
Because I'm reading the news and shit like that. So he's come to we go out, we'll eat at Nobu and some shit, right? And so I go with him. So it's me, him, and two guys from two foreigners.
Right.
And so these guys know everything, And so they're like, what about the situation in the Balkans or something like that?
Yeah, you're the newsman.
And I just kind of play along, like by repeating what they'd said 3 sentences ago.
Right, yeah.
And so anyways, he goes, I put you in the movie, man. I need a guy to... And he was going to give me a big part.
Right.
So I was like, no, don't do that. Like, I can't act. And he's like, don't worry about it. I go, seriously, Milos, I don't want you to give me a big part. So he's like, what do you want? I go, just give me a small part. That'd be cool. So he made me a reporter, right, in this People versus Larry Flint.
Right,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. I played one of the people.
Right.
So
Originally, I think it sounds like you were about to be Larry Flint.
Flint?
Right.
Oh, my God.
Hey, I'm Larry Flint.
So we go to we do the movie, right? And I'm a reporter, So he goes, you drive up and get out of the car and run in. I go, well, I can't drive. He goes, oh. So he goes, okay, a cab will drive you. So it doesn't make sense, like a reporter is in a cab. So we do the scene. It's me and Larry Flint, me and Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
So then, anyways, Woody Harrelson's really cool. And fucking actors, man, when they're really good, it's like something different.
Right.
Because I'm just waiting for the other fucker to stop talking and hope to God I remember
You're
my
not even
lines.
paying attention.
No, I'm just hoping to remember my words. So anyways, fucking what's his name? Woody Harrelson asked me if I wanted beer,
Mm-hmm.
He goes, you want a beer? I go, no, it's cool. I don't drink, He goes, you don't want a beer? I go, no, I don't drink, but thanks, man. And then I go, you drink? Like, I thought you just smoked weed and all that shit. And then all of a sudden, Milos Forman goes, "Cut! What the fuck is going on?" Like we were in the movie.
You didn't know.
No.
You thought he was talking to you.
Because he was looking at me and talking like a regular person.
Oy vey.
There was nothing fake.
Imagine if you woke up and you realized you were wrong about everything. You just woke up and you go, God damn, I've been wrong about every single thing I've ever believed. Then it's time to go down to the rope store, in my opinion, because it's not going to get better, Go to the rope store. That's my suggestion to you. And get a hunk of rope about this big. And then go to the rickety stool store. And listen, it's no coincidence that the rope store and the rickety stool store are always right beside each other, right? I don't want to get political or anything like that, but... When people commit suicide, no one ever understands. You know what I mean? People commit suicide, people go, I don't understand why. And I go, you don't? Well, you live in a cotton candy house or something? What the fuck? You don't know about life? How it only disappoints and gets worse and worse until it ends in a catastrophe? What the fuck? There's two reasons guys will hang themselves from the neck. One is, like we said, to escape this worthless masquerade of a life we pretend we have. And the second reason we hang ourselves from the neck is to whack off. These guys, I don't understand. called autoerotic asphyxiation. It's a big fancy word, but it's a filthy thing. And this is my problem with it. The risk reward. It's not good. 21 years old, he was in a McDonald's going, "You want lids on these?" Everybody's different, but I'm sorry.
There's worth in that.
No. Here, can you pick it up out of me?
Yeah, sure, I'll pick it up for you here.
No, but while you're down there.
Yeah.
You're writing a book,
Yes,
How to Be a Model.
yes. The Complete Idiot's Guide to Getting into Modeling.
So, like, rule number 1, be incredibly beautiful. I mean, what are the things that you can do?
I know rule number 2.
Yeah.
Don't be a midget.
Okay. All right.
Are you Jewish?
Yeah.
Okay, then you'll get it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Half Jewish. No, I'm full. Full Jewish.
Full Jewish. All right, then. But you're young, so you might not get it.
Maybe.
Okay, so here's the joke.
Holocaust denier. I'm also...
My father's favorite joke? Well, he had a joke, roses are gray, violets are gray, tulips are gray, because I'm a dog.
Thank you.
We first met, I met you underneath the Queensboro Bridge. You at the time were jerking off punks for $15 a man.
My whole family's watching, man. My grandmother.
Your family doesn't know that when you were a young man, you used to jerk off punks for $15 a man? All joking aside, I know you love to joke, Bob Dole, you know, but that guy, he's a war hero, you know?
Yeah.
He gave his arm for his country. You know, he went through all these debilitating injuries during the war for his country. It was great. And in all fairness, though, Bill Clinton also, he had a kind of some war injuries.
Really?
You know? Yeah. When he was in England there during the Vietnam War, I heard he had a bad injury. He burned his mouth on a bong.
Really?
Do you think this would be funny, just as a practical joke, if you just wrote a suicide note and just blamed some random guy? Would you think that would be, you know what I mean? You know, like your barber or something like that, you know, it was all Ralph Abernathy's fault. Because you know the police would be compelled to go to Abernathy's barbershop and go, "Have you ever heard of a fellow named NORM MACDONALD?" I go, "Yeah, he'd come in every couple of months for a trim." Oh, okay. Well, anyways, he took his life because of you. He wrote it here in this letter. Would you like to keep the... And then Ralph Abernathy would have to spend the rest of his life walking down. This week in Minneapolis, the Minnesota Obesity Center officially opened. Its goals: to find ways to identify behaviors that lead to obesity. Also, it's a good place to meet fat chicks. Against spanking.
Yes, even spanking.
With children.
Well, unless it's two consenting adults, I don't really have any.
Spanking. What about when they get you and then it hits the back of your balls?
Oh.
You know how old Joy Behar is?
Well, I don't think she wants you to tell everybody.
It's in her Wikipedia.
Oh, she's, I think, a lot older than
70.
I thought. Yeah.
That sounds,
she looks great.
That sounds about right to me.
70?
No, I didn't think of her as 70.
Jesus Christ almighty, when did she break? 50?
I like her.
I like her too. She reminds me, of like your old aunt or something.
Yeah.
With her funny opinions. You know what I mean? The View is a bunch of fucking, what kind of henhouse horse shit is that? I went to that Friars Club once. I never seen a roast or anything like that, Joy, but I went one time. I loved playing poker. I had a bit of a gambling problem for a while, and I couldn't get enough poker games, right? So this dude, he told me, "You gotta go to the Friars Club, man. There's a big poker game there, right? I have to talk to 4 people here." So I go to the Friars Club. Barbara, are you listening?
Yeah.
So I'm at
the Friars Club, and they tell me there's this big poker game, right? So I go there, and there's all these old dudes there, right? And they're all comics from like 50 years ago, and I don't know who the hell they are, you know? And it's not like famous comics like Milton Berle or anybody like that. It's these B-level comics from 50 years ago, you know? Like Freddie Roman and dudes like that, right? So they're all playing poker, you know? They're all playing poker. And I'm playing poker. I just want to play poker, but they're all like making jokes, you know. And every joke they're making involves me being a gay dude. You know, you know what I mean? Like they'll go, here you go, kid. Here's a, you know, be like a queen. I get a queen. They go, here's a lady for the lady. You know? And they'd all laugh, you know. And I didn't notice at first. I'm just playing cards, and all of a sudden I realized every joke is me being a homosexual man, right? So I'm not a homosexual man, as you well know. So,
He's definitely not. You're not.
yeah, I'm not. And let me tell you something else. I would have sex with you while you were awake.
Novelty for me. Go ahead.
No, there's no story. It's just, and then I'm playing, and then all of a sudden, this old dude next to me goes, kid, just you gotta show him what you're made of. You insult them too. You know, so I'm like, oh, so there's an old dude. There's like 70 years old. So I go, hey, there, old dude. You probably have had a few guys. I've had sex with a few guys, right? And he goes.
Well, that's the story. So that's the story. You know what? Okay, so I guess you don't need a punchline. No, you don't need a punchline. This is the new comedy, Joy. No punchline.
When you're writing, you learn a lot of that. I went to a guy who was a big writer guy. He told me about things I didn't know about. Metaphors. You ever hear of them? He said, you got to use metaphors. I'm like, what's that? He's like, that's a thing. So a metaphor is like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? So he's like, that means you can take a person, you know, and you can give him all the information and everything, but he still has to be the one to absorb it himself. So I was like, well, why the fuck didn't you just say that? Like, what? Why do you have to put a horse into it? Like, what? You thought I was so stupid you needed to make it into some fable? Like, what? A horse?
The nation is still reeling from Thursday's bombshell announcement that Lisa Marie Presley has filed for divorce from Michael Jackson. According to friends, the two were never a good match. She's more of a stay-at-home type, and he's more of a homosexual pedophile. In an effort to raise money for his enormous legal bills, O.J. Simpson this week began marketing a video which attempts to prove his innocence. Should the tape not sell, Simpson has a backup idea, his very own video of the actual murders themselves. Well, let's get to O.J. O.J. Simpson's lawyers say they don't want the families of Nicole Brown and Ronald Goldman in the courtroom during the trial. They're afraid the presence of the family members will just remind O.J. of how much more killing he still has to do. According to a survey, 58% of men would have sex with a woman they disliked. Although while having sex, they would really, really like them, and then afterwards not like them again. In a recent interview, Christy Brinkley suggested that football players should have special gloves connected to lights on their helmets. That way, when they catch the ball, you'll know who has possession. Read these and other interesting ideas in Christy's new book, I'm an Idiot. Well, in a sworn deposition this week, O.J. Simpson claimed that he never, ever beat, choked, or hit his ex-wife with a closed or open fist. Luckily for O.J., lawyers forgot to ask if he'd ever cut her head off. Well, in a recent interview, Christopher Reeve said that Robin Williams' comedy helped convince him to go on living. He then added that Pauly Shore's comedy made him pray for the sweet release that death would bring. And the Pope came out with a book this week, which contains a series of essays examining faith and morality in today's secular world and the changing role of the Catholic Church as it approaches the 21st century. The book is entitled, God Himself Told Me That O.J. is Guilty. King of Pop Michael Jackson, who collapsed during rehearsals for a concert last week, has been released from the hospital. Doctors say his condition is stable and continues to improve, although he is still a freak. Well, O.J. Simpson's lawyers stopped feuding this week, finally. The Dream Team, F. Lee Bailey and Robert Shapiro, were able to put aside their differences and express their admiration for each other after O.J. threatened to cut their heads off. In an interview out this week, Demi Moore says she would like to have another baby, this time a boy, to go along with her 3 daughters and 2 huge breasts. While performing in New York this week to a packed audience, Yoko Ono shocked the crowd by tearing up a Bible. Most shocking of all, Yoko Ono performed to a packed audience. Well, according to published reports, Michael Jackson's wife is now pregnant with the pop star's 2nd child. Asked why he decided to become a father again so soon, Jackson explained that his 7-month-old son is starting to lose his looks. And in Boise, the Idaho State Medical Board has censured Dr. LeVar Withers after dozens of women alleged that he fondled them while their legs were up in stirrups. An angry Dr. Withers replied, "Hey, if I'm such a monster, why didn't they just go to another dentist?" 3 years ago, an 11-year-old British schoolgirl put a message in a bottle and tossed it into the Atlantic Ocean. Well, this week, she was astounded to receive a reply from halfway around the world. Sadly, the reply read, "You're 11, what are you wearing?" On Friday, the Juice officially endorsed Bill Clinton for president, adding, quote, "I'd like to help him any way I can." To which the president replied, "Well, there is one thing." 20th Century Fox has announced that Macaulay Culkin will not be hired to star in Home Alone 3. Studio spokesman said that it was nothing personal, but with Culkin now 16 years of age, the only way to keep him in the film would be to make the character retarded. Well, there may be trouble in paradise. Lisa Marie Presley confirmed this week that she and Michael Jackson live in separate residences 50 miles away from each other. Lisa Marie was quoted as saying, "I guess being married to a homosexual pedophile wasn't such a great idea after all." In an effort to feel smarter than somebody, Dan Quayle this week spoke to 4,000 Amway employees.
Come to think of it, I got addicted to you. Oh, no, no, no. And come to think of it, I need somebody like you. Oh, no, no, no. I need someone like you. Oh.
President Clinton up here on crutches making a speech. I mean, I thought that was just amazing, you know. I mean, it's been difficult for the president. You know, he can't jog now, and he needs help getting around, and he still occasionally suffers great pain, you know. On the upside, you got your medical marijuana, so that's, you know. You must inhale, sir. It's the only way you're going to get better.
You want to hear my dad's favorite joke?
Yeah.
He says he was from the farm, you know, and he says a guy comes from the city. City slicker comes and he buys a farm, and the farmer next door comes over to him and says, "Hey, now, would you like to come over to my house tonight? We're going to have a big shindig for you because, you know, we're neighborly here." And the city guy said, "Well, this is something that's I really like, you know, that this is why I moved to the farm, to have things like this, you know." Guy says it'll be a hell of a big party, you know. He goes, "It'll be, you know, a little drinking, a little fighting, a little fucking, you know." And the city guy goes, "Well, that sounds good. What time should I be here?" And the farmer goes, "Anytime you like, just the two of us." So they would drink, then get in a fight, and fuck.
It's your dad's favorite
That was
joke.
my dad's favorite joke.
There's Charles Woodson. How about that? Huh? What a season he had. Great, man. He became the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. And congratulations, Charles. That is something that no one can ever take away from you. Unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case... all bets are off. Just a word of advice.
I came here from Las Vegas, Nevada, and when I was on the air, where do airplanes go from? Airports. I was in the airport, and guys were asking, everybody wanted my ID, and it occurred to me that ID is a strange abbreviation because I is short for I, and then D is short for identification. So seems to me D is doing most of the legwork on that one.
Something people don't know about you.
I'm a deeply closeted gay guy.
No kidding.
Well, I'm not coming out, though.
Wait a minute. What are you revealing here today?
I'm not revealing anything. I'm saying I'm deeply closeted.
Well, that means you're gay.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Why would I say that? I'm deeply closeted.
No, but that means you're very, very gay, but you don't want to come out. You're so closeted.
That I refuse to say I'm gay.
Right.
Exactly.
But doesn't that mean you're gay?
Hey, easy, buddy.
There's this movie coming out.
Yes.
Title undetermined at this point.
Chairman of the board.
Oh, all right. Do something with that, you freak.
I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D.
But I quit smoking. That's good for your teeth, man. You ever try that? Holy cow, is that tough, huh? I smoked ever since I was a kid. I always remember smoking, you know? One time I remember as a little kid, I was like 8 years old, and I was behind my garage. I was sneaking a cigarette back there, and my dad caught me. I'll never forget it. His big head came around the corner of the garage. There it was, my dad's big head. And then his body, right after it. There was his body. Trailing his head, as it often would. And he grabbed me, and he hauled me in. And I thought I was in for the strapping of my life, you know? What he did is he pulled out his giant cigar. Must have been half the size of my arm, this big cigar. Stuck it in my mouth, lit it up, made me smoke it all the way through, right to the end. That's when I started smoking cigars real heavy. That plan backfired on him. Then there was another time I remember, now that I'm thinking about it. I was behind the garage again, as luck would have it. And this time I was smoking a big fat joint back there. And don't do drugs. And my dad's big head showed up again. And there's no body this time, just a big head. That was the funny part. You like to mix it up like that, you know? So anyways, he grabbed me there with his teeth, and he hauled me in. And I thought I was in for the strapping of my life, you know, but injected me with heroin. So he was a strict man, I'll tell you that. But you gotta quit smoking, that's all I know, man. You gotta quit smoking. It's not all I know other things too, but be a kind of a wasted life if that's all I combed out of it there. But But you got to quit smoking, because otherwise you get old and then unhealthy, you know? You see a lot of that, you know? Although some guys don't. You ever see those old guys? Doesn't matter what the hell they do to themselves. They just grow old anyway, you know? Meet a guy, be the oldest bastard you ever met, you know? Just does everything wrong, you know? Every day, I smoke 4 packs of cigarettes. I drink a bottle of Jack Daniels, and I hit myself in the head with a shovel every goddamn day. I'd like to die. God, I'd love to die. One time I put a shotgun in my mouth and blew the whole goddamn back of my head out there. Just a slight ringing in the ears. I can't die. I met, in the airport, I met Matlock.
Oh, Matlock is Andy Griffin.
Yeah, Andy, he used to call himself Andy Griffin. Now he goes by Ben Matlock.
He really calls himself Ben Matlock.
But, yeah, I went into the airport, and he was in there, and you know the bookstores they have in the airports?
Yeah, sure.
So he's in there. He's reading one of them big, thick books, you know, smart guy, you know? So I'm standing over there. I'm leafing through a Jughead comic. I see him over there. So I think to myself, I say, hey, I'm going to sidle up beside old Ben Matlock.
Yeah.
And I'm going to grab one of them big books myself. He didn't have to know nothing.
Sure.
Pretty soon we get in a conversation. We start talking, and I find out how he ever solved that case where Claude Akins killed. You remember, anyways. Whatever. I wanted to talk to him.
Right.
So take 10 minutes. I'm talking to him. He's very friendly, very outgoing, and everything like that. And it was really nice. And all of a sudden, I realized it wasn't Ben Matlock at all.
Really? It's not Andy Griffith?
Yeah, just some old man. And now, don't you think that this guy has a moral, you know, responsibility to tell people instantly that he's not Matlock?
I don't know. That's a good question. I never thought of that.
You know what else I like about the magic phone? Wikipedia. Oh, you ever use that? That's the best, man. It makes a democracy out of smartness. Everybody's equal now, you know? Used to be a guy would go to school 5, 6 years, and then he'd talk to me, and I'd be like, ah. But now it's all different. I got my magic phone in my pocket. So a guy will say to me, he'll go, hey, Norm, you ever hear of a fella that went by the name of Claude Monet? And I go, why, of course I have. I got to go to the bathroom. And I go to the bathroom. And I'm in there 20, 25 minutes, and I come back. I go, hey, listen, I was just, we were talking about Claude Monet, and I just wanted to say that, you know what I liked about him was his paintings. I liked the way he painted. He was a painter, and I loved how he used the paint to make paintings. And the guy goes, God damn, Norm, I've never been able to stump you in 2 years. I go, thank you very much. You're very kind. You know, in the, what's that? Oh, yeah, no, you're absolutely right. That is my name. You know, when the people here asked me to do the show, you know, I gotta say, I felt kind of weird, you know. I don't know if you remember this, but I used to actually be on this show, you know. I used to do the weekend update news routine. You remember that? And yeah, that's where I did the make-believe news jokes. You know, that was me, right? So then, a year and a half ago, right, I had a sort of a disagreement with the management at the NBC. I wanted to keep my job, right? And they felt the exact opposite. So you see, they fired me because they said that I wasn't funny, you know? Now with most jobs, I could have had a hell of a lawsuit on my hands for that, but see, this is a comedy show. So they got me, you know, you don't want it. But now, this is the weird part, right? It's only a year and a half later, and now they asked me to host the show. So I wondered, I go, hey, wait a second here. Hey! I go, how did I go in a year and a half from being not funny enough to be even allowed in the building to being so funny that I'm now hosting the show? How did I suddenly get so damn funny? It was inexplicable to me, because a year and a half, let's face it, is not enough time for a dude to learn how to be funny. Then it occurred to me, I haven't gotten funnier. The show has gotten really bad. So yeah, I'm funny compared to, you know, well, you'll see later. But okay, so let's recap. The bad news is, I'm still not funny. The good news is, the show blows. All right, folks, we got a bad show for you tonight. Dr. Dre, Snoop Doggy Dogg, and Eminem are here. We'll be right back. Who are safer drivers, men or women? Well, according to a new survey, 55% of adults feel that women are most responsible for minor fender benders, while 78% blame men for most fatal crashes. Please note that the percentages in these pie graphs do not add up to 100% because the math was done by a woman. For those of you hissing at that joke, it should be noted that that joke was written by a woman. So now you don't know what the hell to do, do you? No, I'm just kidding. We don't hire women. Haitian General Raoul Cedras, who will be stepping down in 2 weeks, held a hasty garage sale of some knickknacks he'd acquired while in office. Big fans of the Haitian strongman, are you? Postal authorities removed a cigarette from a photo of blues artist Robert Johnson to help dignify the musician in a new stamp they've issued in his honor. This isn't the first time the post office has altered a photograph. In fact, the original photo used on the Elvis stamp was based on this photo. King enjoying a hoagie. In a related story, 3 of Hollywood's most powerful men, David Geffen, Steven Spielberg, and Jeffrey Katzenberg, joined forces last week to form their own movie studio. When asked what sort of films we could expect from them, the trio replied, mostly pornos. That's good news. All right. Last week, Queen Elizabeth won 10 pounds in her country's national lottery. However, she has no plans to quit her job as Queen of England. Yeah, I knew. You think I didn't know? Jeffrey Dahmer's relatives are reportedly fighting over what to do with his body. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, some want to have sex with it while the rest want to put it in the fridge. So that's, should have stopped at the premise that time. The U.S. Postal Service this week canceled plans for a stamp commemorating the bombing of Hiroshima. They will instead release a different stamp. Here it is that, hopefully people will find it less offensive, that one. Scientists have created a genetically superior Christmas tree that will be taller, stronger, and tougher than other trees. One downside, if you don't like your presents, it will kill you. It's a hell of a downside there. A one-legged goose with a dart in its head. And I complain about my life, you know? It's tougher for the one-legged goose. Hey, this week a Cincinnati woman with 10 personalities sued a man for sexual assault. But the suit was thrown out when 2 of her personalities said that she may have consented. You know, folks, where I come from, no, 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 yes, yes, no, no means no. Hate to get on a soapbox, but that's where I come from. Oprah Winfrey broke down and cried this week, saying she had once smoked crack cocaine. You know, I don't know what she's crying about. I mean, you know, some people in this world never get to smoke crack cocaine. It's ridiculous. Huh? Here's an amazing story. Twins born 95 days apart. Even more amazing, they were born to different mothers and they don't even look alike. Hard to believe. This week, a court banned gays from marching in Boston's St. Patrick's Day parade, but they will still allow them to be beaten up by drunken Irish guys. I'm afraid to know what you're applauding at there. Okay. Well, the Super Bowl might be over, but the San Francisco 49ers just keep piling it on. They now lead the Chargers 83-40 to 27. So they've comfortably covered the spread. And in football news, man, this is getting ridiculous. The 49ers now beat the Chargers 1,000,655 something to 27. All right. Not good with those long numbers. A study says that pot use in high school is up sharply. Don't I know it? Oh, yeah. I'm joking. And I don't really sell drugs to children. And now, to illustrate the point that their client is running out of money to defend himself, O.J. Simpson's lawyer said this week that if he had to do it over again, after killing his victims, O.J. would now rob them as well. That one you find troubling? We went... Well, how about this, huh? You know what makes me sick? When a society lets a guy like Colin Ferguson live for another 200 years. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. Israeli security forces have rounded up over 150 suspects in last week's suicide bombings. Suspects in a suicide bombings. Now, well, here's a hint. Look for the dead guys, and probably on the right track. Well, in Buffalo, Wyoming, a truck jackknifed this week, spilling hundreds of sticks of dynamite on the I-90 interstate, though officials noted that there is absolutely no danger as long as you're protected by magic. Yeah, I wish I was protected by magic. All right. And with the Pope in New York City, some of the New York City's greediest and most heartless con men are getting rich selling fake tickets to the Mass in Central Park. Don't I know it? Look at all... Look here. Look at all this. Oh, yeah. Hoping to impress a girl, Kevin Hall, 18 years old, stuck a sawed-off shotgun in his pants and blasted off his genitals. You know, I don't know the girl, but I'm guessing that the stunt didn't work. I've learned that the hard way. In an attempt to reassure critics of the president's Bosnian policy, White House press spokesman Mike McCurry stressed that the administration does not intend that America be the world's policeman. He did acknowledge, however, that the Marines had just pulled over the country of Brazil for speeding. Like Johnny Carson there for a second. This week, Paula Barbieri admitted that she had broken up with O.J. Simpson the very night Nicole Brown Simpson was killed. Boy, that had to be a tough day for O.J., huh? First he gets dumped by his girlfriend, then Colombian hitmen kill his wife. Man, that's... You gotta... Recent studies indicate the number of people getting the AIDS virus appear to be declining sharply. But it is important for viewers to remember one thing. Sex without condoms feels better. And now I have to say this. It should be noted, however, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Wrong Way Corrigan, the man who once flew all the way to Ireland by mistake, died this week at the age of 88. It was just like him, said his wife. He was trying to live. You got it all wrong. Across the nation this Monday, banks and government offices will be closed in observance of Martin Luther King's birthday. Meanwhile, at the Riverbend Maximum Security Prison in Nashville, Dr. King's assassin, James Earl Ray, will spend the day being raped continuously. He's a bad guy, by the way, James Earl Ray, if you don't know that. Meanwhile, Republican hopeful Phil Gramm says that Bob Dole should not get the nomination because he backed President Clinton's plan to send troops to Bosnia. Dole responded that Gramm should not be nominated for president because, well, look at him. Take a gander at the fella. Well, more bad news for ice cream moguls Ben and Jerry in their continuing battle with the Food and Drug Administration. This week, the FDA banned their newest flavor, stuff from Ben's beard. Meddling bureaucracy wrecking that. Well, at a local town meeting in Montpelier, Vermont last week, representatives from the McDonald's Corporation who want to put a restaurant in a historic district were booed by angry residents, but they were cheered by the town fat guy. Every town has one, the town fat guy. With peanut consumption in the United States down 10%, the Peanut Advisory Board has decided to launch a $600,000 publicity campaign. Most of the funds will go towards spreading ugly rumors about almonds and cashews. That's not right, huh? A celebrated fertility statue, which many believe has the power to make women pregnant, began a nationwide tour this week. The hundreds of women who claim it caused their pregnancies are of different ages, races, and religions. But they all have one thing in common. They are all dirty, dirty whores. Dirty, dirty whores. In Colorado this week, Bob Dole warned that if Pat Buchanan is the Republican nominee, the party might lose both the presidency and control of Congress. In response, Buchanan warned that if anyone other than himself becomes president, blacks will retain the right to vote. Six of one, half dozen of another. Just days after winning the New Hampshire primary, Pat Buchanan has become the target of savage attacks within the Republican Party. On a positive note, however, he did pick up the enthusiastic endorsement of Bill Clinton, the President of the United States of America. Can't get much higher than that. Well, television history will be made this week when film legend Elizabeth Taylor appears as herself on all 4 CBS Monday night sitcoms. It's part of the network's new campaign, Must Eat TV. She enjoys eating. According to a Senate Committee on Violence, Denise Brown has done more to bring attention to the cause of battered women than any other person. Well, almost any other person. Once again, OJ gets the short shrift. Well, Washington, D.C. Mayor Marion Barry says he has devised a money-saving plan that would close the district's Lorton prison and transfer its 7,000 inmates to private lockups. One hitch is that the financially strapped district doesn't have the startup money to implement the plan. Another hitch is that the guy who devised the plan smokes crack. So, 2 hitches. 130 years after the Civil War, the state of Mississippi has finally voted to abolish slavery. Representatives say they would have liked to have done it sooner, but they were delayed due to some awfully big cotton crops. They had some kind of big cotton thing. All right.
Old TV shows.
Yeah.
And it was the first Kojak. You remember Kojak?
Telly Savalas.
Telly Savalas.
With the lollipop.
Yeah, he had the lollipop going. So for the pilot, it was Crocker's first day. You know, Kevin Dobson played Crocker.
Sure, Crocker.
So he was just out of police academy. Green. They kept saying how green he was. Kojak had been around a long time. He knew everything. So he's, you know, as this green kid, and he doesn't know if he wants to be working with him. So what was happening was prostitutes were being murdered.
Oh, my.
He goes, go down and try to get some information from the prostitute's mother. So a little while later, Crocker comes back. I talked to her mother. She wasn't a prostitute at all. She was a good girl. Yeah. So Kojak's seen it all, right? So he takes this lollipop, he goes, yep, she was a good girl. Mama's apple pie. The 4th of July. She was a hooker! Crocker was too green to see it, you know?
You know, I was watching the Bill Maher show the other day, and he yesterday, actually, and at the end of the show, he was giving out these statistics, and he was saying stuff like, he's basically talking about how fucking stupid Americans are, which I'm really getting tired of that. You know, I'm not saying we're not fucking stupid. I'm just like, as compared to who? You know, I haven't traveled to a lot of places, but I've been to some places that were not flying the American flag, and there's just as many fucking morons. You know, if everybody's smart, then there's no smart guys. You're just regular. You know what I mean? Jesus, wow, Bill, that was fucking deep. Fuck you. What the fuck you want from me? I'm just saying, you know what I mean? So anyway, so he's doing this poll. I actually really like his show. One of the things I love about Bill Maher is he's not really likable, and he doesn't seem to give a fuck. And, you know, I mean, yeah. I mean, is that the kind of person you want to have over for dinner? Probably not, but that's a good recipe for getting a lot of pussy in life. We'll discuss that later. Plowing ahead here. So he starts doing all these polls, and he's sitting there going, you know, 18%, only 18% of Americans could name, knew that there was 2 senators for every state. And only 11% could name who they are. You know, so immediately that's supposed to make it seem like everybody's dumb. And my first thought was, okay, 18% can know that you get 2 senators per state, but I bet, you know, a good 28% could explain the cover 2 defense. You know, it just depends on what the fuck you're into. I like when people are really into something and you're not into it, and then they consider you stupid.
It's about your friend.
Hey, you're not going to believe this, but Bill Maher is giving away the solution to all our problems for free. He is, isn't he?
Norm MacDonald died yesterday. Did you know Norm well?
Well, not well. No one knew him well.
Yeah, no one knew him well. I worked with him. I spent a great deal of time with him, and I feel like I never knew him at all.
But huge fan. Mm-hmm. A guy who was not afraid to be too subtle for most people. Uh-huh. That's ballsy. Uh-huh. You know? He did the jokes he wanted to do. I love that.
You believe in Lord? I do.
You do? Are you religious?
I believe in God.
And I do too.
That's as far as I go.
Yeah, me too.
And I don't need your buddy Bill Maher telling me I'm an idiot.
I don't like when atheists say all that shit. It pisses me off too. I'm glad you said that.
They don't know shit either.
So I want you to shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Who asked you?
I've never got the answer to the one question, which is why? Why Connecticut children? Why? Why a bomber in Boston? If there is a God, he's omnipotent.
Yes.
If he's omnipotent, he could prevent it.
Yes.
Why didn't he prevent it?
I don't know, man, but you got to stop hanging out in that hot tub with Bill Maher all the time. It sounds like you got a God-shaped hole in your heart.
What the hell are you talking about?
Interesting thing. Some comedians, Larry, I feel, a comedian, what he should be doing is being funny. That should be his goal, to be funny. I feel some comedians, their goal is to be smart. And the funny is like a collateral thing. They want to be seen as smart. Your friend Bill Maher, for instance, you know, he wants to be seen as an intellectual.
Dennis Miller.
Nobody likes a guy smarter than them. That's the worst guy you can be. A guy smarter than the audience. They're going to hate you, you know?
Yeah, it's a very good observation.
'Cause I've been busy, I've been chasing waterfalls. I stopped believing in some kind of miracle. And I've been staring at the sun for too damn long. But when I opened up the door, they led me back to him.
Question that's plagued mankind since the dawn of time. A nightclub comic. It only makes sense. Apparently between Bill Maher's hanging out with whores and smoking weed, he's done a little amateur field of journalism. It's like, it's so clear, like, you know, what the fuck? It's either nothing or something. So you go, there's only two things. You gotta look at the evidence, right? You go, what's the evidence that God exists? None. Well, that's not good. So then you go, hey, what's the evidence God does not exist? None. So it's equal. So then you get rid of, but then, and yeah, one of them is for sure right. Just a hazard a guess at that point. No evidence at all. So what I do is I try to look for, if I have two choices, I'll say, what do you got? And the guy goes, when you die, you go up and you play a harp on a cloud. And I go, God damn, I always want to play a harp. What do you got? What happens when I die under your plan? Well, we put dirt on you. Hey, wait a second, I'm going to attack this guy. I want to ask you one other question I forgot to ask earlier. What else happens up there? Do I ever get to... somebody told me I meet somebody or something. You meet your loved ones. All my loved ones? Yeah, all of them. Wow, what about Barky, my dog? He's going to be there. My dog Barky, when I was a little boy, Barky. Barky? My father said with a stupid name, Barky, call him Dr. Barky. He's going to be there? Hey, is Barky going to be there? No, just dirt. Stop saying dirt. I'm over this guy. Listen. Don't put dirt in your pamphlet. Don't put that word. It's not a good word for your cause. I want you guys to do well. I guess that's why you don't see atheists in the corner like, come on, hey, everybody. Nothing means anything. You get old and sick and die. Anybody want to buy this thing? It's 45 cents. I've written it on a piece of paper. I don't even care to read it.
No, I used to hang out with Norm MacDonald a lot. Me and Norm were really close.
God, I loved him.
And we used to go play tennis. And after we played tennis, we'd go into like the 7-Eleven, and we'd always do this thing where we go, okay, we're going to go in together, and each of us has to point at one item and make a joke about it. And it was really hard. Like,
so hard.
like people think making jokes as a comedian is easy, but it's not. But I'll never forget Norm did this. It's the only one I remember. But I pointed to, you remember those things, animal crackers?
Yeah.
And I pointed to the animal crackers, and Norm just goes, that horse cock didn't taste very good.
There's a lot of guys who sort of all of a sudden are like real big players.
Yeah, Norm got his own TV show.
Norm's doing well. What?
What?
Do you hang out with Norm, or is it impossible?
It's pretty impossible because he's crazy.
He is.
In LA, I call him and he goes, I go, what happened last week? I called you to go. You called me? And I go, yeah. On my phone? I go, yeah. And he goes, Oh, yeah, I got that. Oh, you didn't call me back? No.
And he's serious.
Yeah, he's crazy.
And yeah, I know. Like, I have him on the
I
show.
love him, though. He's the funniest guy around. I think you need to be kind of crazy to be really funny.
He is very funny. I love him, too. And he has a gambling problem, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was telling us
That's
how
no secret.
he was all excited that he had $80,000. He won $80,000 in Vegas, but he had lost like $100,000 on basketball.
Right, and that's on nickel slots. That's how serious he is.
Did you always know he had a gambling problem?
Mm-hmm.
You did. When did you know that? At Saturday Night Live?
I first knew he had a pee in a bottle problem.
Right.
Remember that? You always talk about
Yeah, it's
that.
great.
And then I knew...
Does he still save his urine? Do you know?
I don't know. He used to put it in Ziploc baggies, sign it, and send it to fans.
Is that true?
No.
Oh.
But he did. He would take... After Saturday Night Live, they give you a car, a limousine, if you want to go to the party, and he would take it to Atlantic City.
Really?
Yeah. He's a hard ass. He's hardcore, dude.
I know he'll even get into fist fights.
And then he'll stay at a table for hours and hours.
What do you think of that?
I feel lucky.
And then you don't even know if he's married or single. It's never really clear.
I don't know, but I know girls like him. He's when you're that something's that wrong, they pick up on it and like it.
They like the tragedy of that.
Fixer upper, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna make him a regular guy.
Right, but it never worked.
So one time I had to open up for him this is at a casino. We were doing like a casino gig in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Wow. And Cherokee Creek Casino, I think. And it could have, I don't know, this cool lady that I think maybe tried to make love to somebody, but she also helped us get the gig. And Norm was fucked up. I think that when he went on after me. And like, I don't even think for the first 7 minutes, I don't even think he said anything, right? But the crazy part was the next day, we had to play cards too the next day. You had to like be there for the weekend, you know? So we go to the card tables and Norm's like, man, there's a lot of good pussy in here. And I don't know him really well. So I'm looking around this room, bro. There is zero attractive women, right? There's zero attractive men, okay? Right. So it's not, even if you wanted some ass pussy, there's nothing. Yeah, it's a casino. And it's a gambling game. It's poker. Yeah. 5-card poker, you know? So... And I'm just thinking, well, I guess I just agree with him. You know, he's getting older, and you know, maybe he has a different perception of what's attractive. And I'm like, yeah, man, there sure is. He goes, fuck no, there isn't. Like he had played me, you know, like he was like, this is the ugliest batch of people I've ever seen.
You know, I don't know if Norm still tours. You'd be a good compliment for Norm, man.
You don't think I'm too much, too similar?
I don't know. I think it'd be funny.
Jeez, he's my hero.
I think it'd be work. Yeah,
I'd be blown away.
Yeah, the guy's amazing.
Never met him.
Very funny. Well, you know, just it's such an impressive stand-up to see live. You know?
Yeah.
Because you think right before he goes on, I opened up for him for about a year, and after we did Dirty Work, and then he always think like no matter where you are, you think like he's not going to make it. Like he goes, he's holding his stomach. He goes, I can't do this, man. I'm not going to make it here. I don't want to go on. I don't want to go on. I want to quit. Like, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. And you got to push him in front of the microphone. And then he does an hour and 45 and like destroys. Doesn't take the mic out like this, like, and then he just leaves.
Yeah.
You know.
I saw him at Caroline's when I was broke. I was poor. I wasn't even in the club, so I had to pay the real fee. You know, I couldn't be like, I'm a comic. They didn't know me.
I know.
And
you mean the fair prices over there too?
Yeah, right. I spent like $70.
That's great when you're broke.
Yeah, and I went and saw him, and he was killing, and he got heckled in the middle of the show, and he's drinking a Coca-Cola, and he just goes, "It's dead silent. There's tension. Like, what's he gonna say?" And he just goes, "I don't know what to do about that," you know. And then he goes back to the act. I've never seen anyone handle a heckle like that.
I don't know what to do about it.
Yeah.
Now sometimes I just go,
Funniest guy on the planet.
No, he really is. He's up there. He's very, very funny. He's a fun guy to talk. See, doing the road with a guy like that is fun for the late night conversations that last till 6 a.m. about show business, about who he hates.
Yeah,
like you start talking about who you hate.
Yes.
Oh, it's fantastic.
That's the funnest stuff.
Oh, and who sucks and who you hate and this and that and the other thing, and then of course
Norm stories. I got 2 good Norm stories. Good. My first comedy club gig ever is in Catch a Rising Star, Princeton. And Norm MacDonald, this is 1990 or 91. Norm's done a few local talk shows in America, small time, but he hasn't made it in America. He's kind of got a little following, but now he's starting to headline in America at comedy clubs. This is at a time where in New Jersey, if you weren't telling dirty nursery rhymes wearing a leather jacket, you weren't really interesting to anybody. But here's Norm, this goofy Canadian accent, really telling these long, weird bits for 8 shows. And he probably bombed 3 out of 8 shows. Whenever he killed, he would kill, when it was a sophisticated crowd, he would get him and he would kill. He would just go backstage, he'd pull out a deck of cards, and he'd make me and Rich Voss play poker with him. When he bombed, Norm would go to the exit and say goodbye to every single person who left. Just to be weird and make us laugh and be awkward for the people. He would thank everyone for coming after he bombed.
Serious?
He was such a nut.
I love that. That's a committed person. But that's what I love.
You were Norm's assistant? And I was Norm's assistant, and I wish I could like go back to
You
those
got any
days.
Norm stories?
Yeah, I hear this is my best Norm story.
Yeah.
So I went to the guys would like take me out, like Keckner and
Mhm.
Norm and Spade, and they're all fucking gems, like really, really nice guys. They were always so nice to me, and I think they liked having me around because I was like a young kid, and I would laugh, you know, and I was just in fucking heaven, like. So they take me out. They took me out one night, and they were getting drunk and whatever, and so I meet this Australian girl, and you know, we go back, fool around, whatever, and I come into work the next day. And I turn to Norm and I go, I gotta tell you something, man. I go, and don't tell anybody. And he goes, okay, yeah, I won't tell anybody, you know. And I go, like last night, you know, with this girl, the girl at the bar, she goes, she snorted cocaine off my cock, like that. And I was like, I know, I'm 20 years old or whatever, you know. And I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I'm in the city for the first time, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And he goes, wow. He goes, oh my God, that's crazy. Cocaine after your cock. And I go, but don't tell anybody, you know, 'cause I don't want anyone to know. Like, and so then maybe like, I don't know, 5 minutes later, the fucking UPS guy comes in, you know, with the packages or whatever. And he's like, oh, hey, Daryl. And he's like, hey, Norm, how you doing? He's like, hey, you see this guy right here? Guy likes to get cocaine snorted off his cock. And I was like, you know, now I wouldn't be embarrassed, but I'm fucking mortified. I'm like, I'm gonna get fired.
Yeah.
And he did it. He did it for like 3 months.
To everybody.
At any point, like I'd be standing there with the jokes. He'd be like, Jason, go get the jokes. And he'd be smoking in the hallway, and he'd be like, no. Because, you know, he fucking had like a really high bar for jokes. And fuck that. I'd be like, oh my God. And then there'd be like a page standing next to him. He'd be like, hey, you know, Jason? Guy likes to have cocaine snorted off his cock. So fucking funny. He did it to my mom. He said it to my mom once.
No.
Yeah. And then I remember because the other part of the job was that I would work the door at the parties. And my mom came down for the party.
At the after party.
The after party.
Yeah.
And she and I was trying to keep Norm away from my mom so he wouldn't say that to my mom. And of course he goes, you know, Jason likes to have cocaine. Snorted off his cock. And my mom was great. She goes, well, I bet you do a lot of weird stuff too, Norm.
Can you share some of the stuff?
With Norm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you have with Norm?
It was just, he reached out. He was a big, when people were going through it, Norm was one of the guys that would always reach out. And yeah, that was it. Just reached out. He sent me some cool stuff about like, funny will win.
Yeah.
That was the coolest shit ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
that's
was
amazing.
like, there's a war right, I don't want to spill the beans on a nice thing, but it was like,
You guys had a private thing.
yeah, it was cool.
But
and
he
it
was
ended,
very supportive when
yeah,
you were
he,
going
he
through your
spoke
stuff.
like poetically.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And it ended, one of the messages ended with like, in a war for comedy, I think the ones with jokes will win. I was just like, yo,
Yeah.
That's fire.
Norm MacDonald is king.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
amazing.
in no way has to do that.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
To reach out, you know, especially at that time, I thought was really cool.
It was 2 years ago. I mean, he had,
Yeah, as he's battling something, no disrespect,
Yes.
way worse.
yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, hey,
Yeah.
you need help?
I was with Adam Egget most of the time in Austin. The guy, you know Adam?
Yeah. From
And-
the store, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So me and Adam went to the Cowboys-Eagles game, and we were hanging out, and the whole time, because he was best friends with Norm.
Yeah.
So he was like
Yeah.
going through it, but he went through it the same way as like we just talked like Norm the whole time. Like the whole game, we were like, he must have Yeah, he got hit pretty hard. You know what's worse than getting hit like that? Blood cancer. It's no good, that blood cancer. Just like that the whole time. It was great. I hope that wasn't sharing too much for Adam.
Nah.
But it was fun. Norm's the best.
Yeah.
Well, it was, but he died of fucking... Oh, right. I forgot he fucking vanished.
Yeah.
Norm.
Yeah.
Classic.
Nah, he's a fucking man.
I remember it was me, him. He came to... I think he was doing a show with Spade in Irvine, and I went to go watch, and he came we went like by the dumpster afterwards, and it was me, him.
Oh, I know what you're talking about outside.
Yeah.
There's that little outside area where you park. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there was one other person there. I don't remember who was there. So he said, bro, you want to get stoned? I went, nah, man. I stopped. He goes, what? Jesus Christ. Fucking guy from Hip Baked. You can't fucking stop getting high. The fuck you dying about? He was so angry that I didn't want to get high. He was so pissed.
He was genuinely pissed.
The fuck is that? Who the fucking bro? You fucking get high. Jesus Christ. The fuck is what? He's trying like that? Jesus Christ, bro. What the fuck? He was so, he judged me now. And no. I stopped for a while, man. That's all.
I smoked it all.
I did everything.
I smoked as much as I could.
I beat the shit out of marijuana.
Yeah, dude.
Hard.
Yeah, I think you won.
One hitters. I was crushing it. I'm meeting Vaughn years before, talking about punching elephants in the nuts. Been there, done that.
I did it. Yeah.
I would go down to the comedy club, and I remember NORM MACDONALD would come through, and he was probably 25 years old, right? And I'm 16 in the audience, and then I got to become this huge fan of NORM, and he was NORM. But back then, there wasn't a lot of people doing stand-up like NORM. Like there wasn't this sort of angle of sort of this absurdity to it. This sort of. It was more of a structured, down the middle way of doing stand-up back then, and so NORM was this sort of, it
was a curveball.
Yeah, this sort of curveball, and we just couldn't get enough of it. So every time we was in town, we'd be down there. But Howard Wagman told me this story about NORM, and the first time he came down to do stand-up at Yuck Yucks in Ottawa, and he got off stage, and he was disappointed in how it went. NORM was. He said, I'm never doing this again. He walked down the street. Howard Wagman chased him down Spark Street in Ottawa and said, no, that was great. You're coming back. And he made him come back, and the rest is history.
I was on a plane with him accidentally twice.
Nice.
Twice.
That must have been amazing.
Twice on two separate occasions. Just totally random.
Uh-huh.
We sat next to each other on the plane. I'm like, whoa, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And the last one, it was so funny because he was telling me about how he quit smoking. Yeah, I quit smoking. It's fucking, turns out it's real bad for you. Like, this whole thing about quitting smoking. And we're talking about it, like, how hard was it to quit? This whole thing. The moment we land, he walks into the gift shop, buys a pack of cigarettes, and he's lighting them before he gets out the door.
Yeah.
And I go, I thought you quit. He goes, I did, but all that talking about it made me want to smoke.
Yeah, it's probably all an elaborate setup, right? He probably was planning it the whole way.
I don't know.
Who knows? He probably doesn't even smoke. He was just doing it as a gag. No, he was.
Did you know he was sick?
I didn't know.
No, me either. You said you had two stories. There was what's the other one?
Oh, so he'd invite me over to SNL once in a while to play poker on off nights, on Monday nights or something, and to watch him play poker while watching Monday Night Football and a baseball game, like he was a gambler.
Right.
And I guess somehow one time I found myself on a tape night on a live SNL. I'm in the hallway with a bunch of pages, writers, basically plus ones filling out the hallway. I don't know if I'm sure you've been up there enough to know that where the reception is, there's a lot of hubbub.
Right.
You can go to the dressing rooms this way, and to the right is the studio, and makeup, and there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
I believe Rosie O'Donnell was hosting SNL, and her very best friend Penny Marshall was there to support her. Penny Marshall, at the height of her movie director swag, is walking through the hallway with her head down, sunglasses on, baseball hat, doesn't want to be bothered. Treating all these basically writers and NBC employees and me and Norm as big timing us, pretending we're just looky-loos out on the street, right? Just doing a celebrity don't bother me moment.
Flyby.
Flyby, thank you. And Norm picks up on it. And he just starts pointing and screaming, Laverne! 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 And she didn't look up. She never knew it was Norm. She's just gone.
Oh, my gosh.
And, of course, the whole hallway's falling down. Like,
I wonder if he's doing it.
He did Last Comic Standing. He was the only honest judge. He would tell comics they were hacks. It was awesome. The comics hated him. Joe List did it, and he goes, Joe, you're a very good writer. And Anthony Jeselnik goes, hey, Joe, that Norm just called you ugly, which is such a great line.
Damn.
But, oh, my God.
I met him twice, and the first time I met him was I was doing this comedy-style competition at Caroline's, and it was the Final Four. It was me, Dan Soder, who eventually beat me in the final two. It was me, Soder, Nick Cobb, and Adam Newman.
Wow.
And Norm MacDonald was just chilling in the crowd watching.
Damn.
And he couldn't have been nicer. He was so freaking nice to all of us.
Yeah.
Complimenting our acts, being like, man, I could never do this type of thing, you know.
Ah.
So cool. And then the other time I met him was on Last Comic Standing when he was a judge, and I got eliminated in the first round. I had a pretty good set, better than a lot of people who moved on, but it's NBC, let's face it.
That's how it goes.
But I remember I had one joke that Norm singled out and goes, that joke is gold. And that to me was, was like, it was, to me, I didn't even feel that bad. I got locked off because I was like, Norm MacDonald, who is the judge that I connected to his work the most, it was Roseanne and Keenan. I connect to Roseanne's politics, of course, but no. But it was Roseanne and Keenan Ivory Wayans, and like obviously I love In Living Color, but Norm, I'm a comic. Norm was the guy I connected with, and the joke he loved was I said, you know, my last girlfriend was a hoarder, and she broke up with me, which stings extra hard. I'm like the one thing she can get rid of, and he said he loved that joke, and then I got Keenan kind of digged me in the last comic thing. He said, no, I like some of your jokes, but not all of them. And I said, well, I loved all your scary movie films. And it got a huge laugh. And he said, I only did the first two. And I was like, all right. I remember I saw Norm in like the food.
Yeah.
He couldn't let it pass. He couldn't take the L on that one. I knew I was out after that.
Right.
And then I'm walking through the thing. It was like a break. I guess they were taking a break, the paid audience. And I see Norm and he goes, I really like that you dug it.
Oh.
So that was a special moment.
He's
For
the real
sure.
deal. He really is.
Yeah, I think he could tell. And I said I met you once at Caroline's, and I told him I really.
I was there for one of the greatest Norm moments in comedy history. I think he was kicked. He was kicked out of Nebraska.
That sounds realistic.
And you can maybe look it up later. Where it says Norm MacDonald was kicked out of the state by the governor, and he went on Letterman to talk about it. And I want to say it was like 1996 because I just finished my first year at SNL. It was 95, so it was the summer of 96. And I remember going on tour. There you go. You saw it. Go down. Yeah, kicked out of Iowa. That's me talking about it.
Okay.
But anyway.
Should we look on a video or should we?
No, don't look at that. I want to see the real. There has to be a headline.
How Norm MacDonald got kicked out of Iowa?
Yes.
Okay.
Gazette. There you go. Okay. All right. So many were disgusted, some were delighted. So he's supposed, now you understand something, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time me touring with a star.
Okay.
We go to the airport and people are like, oh my God, you're Norm MacDonald. I'm like, wow, this is everywhere we went. Oh my God, you're Norm MacDonald. We show up at the university. He's like, I got to go golfing with the fucking governor tomorrow. They made me fucking golf. Fucking governor.
Yeah, what is that game where you fucking hit the
right?
thing?
So I'm like, he's with a governor. This is huge. Who gets to say that? So it's me, Daryl Hammond, and him.
And you both you guys went?
We're on the gig.
Okay.
We're going out. He's
Daryl
telling us.
Hammond, yes.
And so we get to the gig, and is packed. And they go, now listen, there's kids here, and there's students and alum and the dean and all these people here. So
that's the worst.
they're like, yeah, clean. I get it. No worries. I go, we're in Sunny Lake. He goes, that's why we got you guys, because you're used to live TV. Blah, blah. So Daryl goes up first, does his 20 minutes, does impressions, does his comedy. Hilarious. I go up, do my 20, feel great, crush it. Norm goes up. I'm not even exaggerating. The first thing he says, he goes up, he goes,
It's like, I'm preparing. I'm like, this is going to launch my career. Are you kidding me? This is going to be huge. I'm going to be all.
He goes, fucking, where the fuck are we? First person to even curse. Right? I went, oh, shit, he cursed. And he goes, so if you're gay, would you rather be the ass guy or the dick guy? This is what he starts off with. So I go, Daryl, you gotta go see this. And he's going, and he won't stop. He's like,
Daryl's just being depressed in the back.
Because if you're the ass guy, why do you want to be the ass guy? Oh, first of all, he's going on. People are grabbing their kids, running up the aisle. I never saw a place clear out. It looked like a fire alarm was going off. But the college students were staying, and they were howling with laughter. And one thing, and then in the middle, after about 15 minutes, he goes, Jesus Christ, what do you want, fucking airplane jokes? You want fucking 7-Eleven jokes? Jesus Christ, fuck out of here. So the next day, in the paper, USA Today or the Gazette, they're like, Norm MacDonald's out.
Wow.
Governor wants him out of the state.
Governor wants him.
Get out of my state. But to witness that.
To have someone like that appreciate what you, especially because my story with Norm is not, it doesn't start out great, because I did Last Comic Standing in 2000 and whatever, it never aired. And I did my joke, and I did well, and it was him, it was Damon Wayans and Roseanne.
Yeah.
And Roseanne liked me. Damon Wayans, like, he was like, not, he was just like, yeah. He just like smiled and laughed. I think he said right on. I don't know what he was just like barely there. Like he wasn't, I don't remember anything either way. And then Norm was like, how many years have you been doing comedy? I'm like, 4. He's like, what? It takes 10 years to be a comedian. What are you doing here? I was like, ah. And I remember that was the biggest gut punch I got in stand-up. And I remember being at the Hilton by where they shoot all those shows. By where is that? Universal City?
Yeah.
That area?
Yeah.
I was in the Hilton and I was just like I couldn't even eat. I was like, this is horrible. And I spoke to one of the comics I was staying with at that point, and he was like, Last Comic Standing. He's like, you go in there and they pay legends to tell you not to do what you love, which is kind of what. But I got over it. I kept doing it. And then he became a fan of us later on and a lot of shit we were doing. And he was right. You know, I was a 4-year, 5-year comic then. It's like, you do need more time to mature.
But he used to speak in Spade when we did, all staying at the hotel in Boston, this nice hotel. And one day we're just sitting in Spade's room because he had a big room, you know?
Yeah.
And we're all sitting there and then suddenly the door rings and it's like $800 worth of like steaks and stuff like that. And then Spade's like, I don't think I ordered this. No, goes, I ordered it. I figured you said you were hungry before. And he's like, eh. And he would do it all the time. Spade. And then Spade would just be like, so funny along, like, yeah, I don't know if I wanted to pay for everybody's eat. You know? These people I don't even know. Like, yeah, I figured, well, you're hungry. Everybody's probably hungry. You guys are hungry. You just be sitting there and eat like the steak, like just cut it like, you know, a cartoon technique.
Yeah, right.
This is good steak.
With his oversized t-shirt.
And it would play off each other. Watching them was like one of the funniest things, like watching a TV show.
I was writing like bad sketch jokes my like first year in LA with a friend of mine at the Coffee Bean. I don't even think it's there anymore, across from the mall. And it's late and they're about to close down. And in walks Norm MacDonald. And the girl says to me, who I'm writing with, this girl that I worked with at a production company, she says to me, she goes, oh yeah, you know who that is, right? And I go, holy fuck, holy shit. And she goes, that's the Bob Dole guy. I go, the Bob Dole guy?
Oh, I would have ripped her eyes out.
I mean, I was like, it's fucking Norm MacDonald. And
Yeah.
she's like, no, I know, I forgot his name. I was like,
Oh,
what?
God.
So we sit there and I'm kind of fanboying out and I'm just kind of, you know, like not trying to face him and he's ordering coffee and I keep kind of looking over just to like, cause you just want to get a glimpse. Cause when I'm 22, I just moved to LA. I was like, fuck, holy shit, it's Norm MacDonald. He comes near where the coffee is. He looks over. She's a pretty girl. Okay. And obviously doesn't see me at all. Doesn't know I exist. And he's kind of trying to talk her up a little bit. He's like, what are you guys doing? And she goes, oh, we're writing sketches. And he goes, oh yeah, I know a thing or two about sketches. And both of us were like, yeah, no, we know. Like, and I started stumbling. I'm like, no, I'm a fan of your sketches.
Right. Yeah,
You know. And he goes, oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go next door. I'm gonna get a Steinbeck novel. Barnes and Noble. There used to be a Barnes and Noble. He goes,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a Steinbeck novel. I'm laughing, thinking he's just making jokes. And he goes, I'll be back. Okay, I'll be back. And he
Yeah.
walks out, and I'm like, whoa, how fucking cool was that? Hand to God. He comes back in with a Steinbeck novel, and sits down by us, and just starts talking.
Oh my God.
I swear on my life.
Oh my God.
It was almost like you started a Norm engine, and he just wanted to talk. So he just started talking and talking and talking and telling stories. And I shouldn't tell it, like, I don't want to fuck it up, but the best story he told, I said, what was your most, like, secret fun thing that happened at SNL that, like, you know, like, what was some inside shit? And he goes, Smigel and I, Robert Smigel. If you don't know who Robert Smigel is, he's Triumph the Insult Comic Dog. He's the voice and the genius behind that. Smigel's a fucking phenomenal genius writer and comedian. He goes, Smigel and I, we used to write sketches for Tracy, because we knew Tracy Morgan. We knew Tracy, you know, he was bad in table reads. He couldn't read for shit. You know, he's a fucking stumble through words, you know. So one time we wrote this sketch that we knew was going to tank. Lauren hated it. And we showed it to Tracy anyway because we knew he had trouble reading. He had someone helping him read. He had bad time with S's. So we wrote this sketch about this guy. He's like a gay animal handler named Brian Fellows. Do you remember that sketch?
Yeah.
Brian Fellows? And he goes, yeah, if you look, the best part for us was it was Brian Fellows, apostrophe S, Safari Planet. It was 3 S's in a row is the sketch that we pitched. So in the room, even though the sketch was bad, we knew Tracy would go, Brian Fellows, this is Brian Fellows, this is Safari Planet. And we knew we would crush in the room. He goes, and everybody lost it. The sketch, he was like, the sketch was terrible. But Tracy would go, Brian Fellows, this is Safari Planet. And Norm goes, he goes, that is the funniest thing. We used to fuck with Tracy all the time. And dude, I was like, my heart was filled with comedy warmth.
Yeah.
This is the most wild part. Again, I don't believe that this happened. I to myself, I'm going, this is a lie. You're making this up.
Right.
But she's my proof. We walk out when they finally close the doors. After they're like, Mr. McDonald, you can stay. You know, the Coffee Bean kids are sitting just listening. We all walk outside, and he starts taking off, kind of headed north on La Cienega. And as a joke, my friend goes, do you want to ride? Are you walking? And he goes, no, I don't want to get in the car with you. And we start laughing, and he goes, okay, shotgun. And he comes and runs, sits in the front seat.
No.
I swear to God on my life.
Oh, my God.
Her car. I'm sitting in the back seat, and he's showing us where to go, and we drop him off at his house, and at this complex. And he gets out, and he kind of opens the door, and we didn't say anything the whole car ride.
Right.
We just listened to him going, left here, right here. And he gets out, and he turns and looks in the car, and all he said, he just goes, good luck, or whatever, and closes the door.
Wow.
Yeah. That was my Norm MacDonald moment in comedy.
I have so many Norm moments in my life. My first press conference with Norm was, they prepped us into like, you got to speak, and it's live, and it'll be BBC. And
he's a bigger star than you, so you have to sit there and kind of you have to be...
It was him and Spade right next to me.
So you have to be second fiddle at the moment, or were you?
Yeah, man. I just got. I'm the new kid on the block. We're all a new cast. It's an all new cast except for Spade, Tim Meadows, and Norm MacDonald.
Wow.
And we're like, whoa. And even looking at Norman Spade, I was like, oh, these guys are stars. Like, this is huge.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm really looking up to them. And the press conference go, and I dropped the ball right out of the bat. They asked me, the head of NBC who fought for me to be there, goes, Jim, what was it like growing up watching SNL? And now you're here, you're from New York, and now a fellow New Yorker. I said, I didn't watch SNL growing up. Well, you can hear. I was like, oh, I saw Laura. I went, oh, that was That was Spade went. So he said, and I knew right away, like, oh man, that was really bad. That was bad. And so he goes, I go, well, I wasn't allowed to because I was young. And he goes, well, what about when you were old? He's trying to prep me. He goes, surely when you got older and you were allowed to watch it. And I went, I was out on Saturdays. I wasn't watching TV. And and Norm's like, they're going to like you. They're going to like you. This is my guy. And he's smoking.
No way.
He's smoking. And Marcy Klein is just going, Norm, put out the cigarette. He's like, I'm not done. This guy's going to get fired. So I think I'm going to get fired because I saw Lorne Michaels' face. He was pissed.
So you sitting there super nervous at this point?
I swear in my life, in my kids' lives, I thought I was going to get fired. Damn. Because I just basically said I don't watch Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And I never did. And
yeah, which is not
a good answer.
It's not the message.
In front of the press.
Yeah.
And I didn't say it in a mean manner, but I could just tell the boss man was like, so I went, oh, Jesus, Lord. So now I'm sitting there thinking I'm going to get fired. Swear to God. And I'm just like, oh my God, I didn't even make it to the first episode. They're going to let me go. So this is what's going on in my head. There has to be a video of this press conference in the black market somewhere. I've looked for it, never found it. It's the 1995 press conference. And so they asked Norm, they go, Norm, you, Tim Meadows, David Spade, you've been here. You know the frat house. Everyone knows SNL is a frat house. What kind of practical jokes you got lined up for these new cast members? And I swear to you, I went, I'm not even going to be part of the frat house or the practical jokes. Damn. And Norm goes, first of all, he's annoyed. He goes, practical jokes? Is that what you asked? What kind of practical jokes? Well, first we were thinking about anal rape. You know? Like, hey, yeah, take your pants. We're going to anally rape you. Welcome to Saturday Night Live. I'm going, oh shit, he's gonna get fired too. Yeah. You can't say anal rape in front of the press. Yeah. He said anal rape.
So suddenly you're like, I'm back in this.
I'm in it.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good. And I went up to him after. I went, Nori's like, they don't give it. No one gives a shit, bro. He gives fuck these guys. Yeah. And I realized he would pitch at the pitch meeting. He just didn't care. He didn't care. And I learned so much from him. Just clearly he saw a lot and he's been there forever. Like he would, I remember he gathered the new cast up. He's like, I swear to God, he goes, hey, don't write me any of your gay sketches. He goes, I'm telling you right now, when I do a sketch, it's getting you on. But don't put me in any of your gay little sketches. I swear to God, man. I also traumatized him. We would play football in the hallway because he was very competitive. He's always betting. And it was a very tiny hallway, maybe as wide as this, maybe. And he like, come on, bro, we're playing 3 a.m. Oh, fucking, come on, we're playing football. Me, you, Colin Quinn, and fucking Justin, you fucking fuck the phone calls. No one's calling 3 a.m. Get the fucking ball. Let's go. So he would cheat, would piss me off because I'm competitive. And I'll never forget, he keeps cheating, and now I'm pissed.
How's he cheating? It's like a hallway. It's like a hospital hallway.
It's a hallway, but he fucking cheat. He's a cheater.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah, he is a cheater.
I had boots on. Yeah. So I had work boots on.
Yeah, because you use those to write in. Yeah.
I'm supposed to be riding fucking work boots on. I'm stoned. Like,
oh, the ink's heavy. Yeah.
So now he cheated. I caught the ball, and then he grabbed it and pulled it from me. He's like, hey, fumbled! And he starts running the other way. I'll never forget. I fucking kicked him as he's running in his calf. I went, pow. And he goes, ah! Jesus Christ, bro, why'd you fucking kick me in my fucking calf? I said, because you're cheating. So you fucking kicked me? Jesus Christ. And all he did all week, he like, fucking bro, fucking kicked me in my calf? Because I took the fucking ball? Jesus Christ, bro.
And Spade just in the distance like, yeah,
I had a good, and so those are the moments I loved more that stuff. You know, all of it was worth it. All of it was worth it.
A lot of people get these pictures or tattoos, you know, like of me as Joe Dirt. You know, they send you, a lot of people get a lot of tattoos of stuff, like things you say or photos or whatever. Or they send me ones of Farley or whatever. So this guy sends me one of, he's got Norm of all morons on his hand, Norm MacDonald. So I text Norm, I just send it to him. I go, hey, you have fans. And then I put in parentheses, fan. All we know is for sure this one guy. And then of course, like days later, David, hello, it's me, Norm. How are you? Have you ever texted with Norm?
No, I haven't. No.
Times 1,000. He just goes, he waits days, and then at 3 a.m, hello? I go, Norm, what are you doing? Are you answering me from 4 days ago? Is that what you're doing? Dave, it's Norm. Do you like money? Yes, Norm, I like money. Why? Would you like to have more money than all your wildest dreams? Yes, I would. And then an hour later, would you like to walk into a dealership and point to a car and then just buy it? I go, of course. How? And then 3 hours later, bet the over in the Blackhawks game in the first quarter. First period or something. I go, oh, okay. Too bad that game was 6 days ago, you fucking idiot.
When Norm MacDonald, I wonder what you think of this. He said, do you want to, I think he was talking about Bill Maher. There are a number of comedians you can do this with, I suppose. But he said, do you want to be a comedian or do you want to be a smart guy? Do you, are you going to pick? Are you going to pick? Where are you philosophically on that?
Oh, I want to be a smart guy. Like Norman, and I love Norm MacDonald. He is my hero. He is one of my idols. We worked together on Last Comic Standing and did not get along. I took the job to work with him. Our philosophies were very different, and his criticisms of the other comics. He was a judge. I was the host. I was surprised by, and so just very different philosophically. All the respect in the world for Norm and what he did. It was amazing. I never try to replicate what he. No, not that I would change anything about Norm MacDonald. It's very different.
You didn't get along, though. You thought you were going to get along. You were hoping to get along, and one of your heroes.
I wanted to be best friends, but I think we were both, and we figured it out. But I think we were both a little disappointed in the job we had taken, and saw the other comedians on the show, and we're like, "Fuck, what are we doing here?" And so we were both not in the greatest of moods, and then would butt heads a little bit. Like I don't. Just because he's my idol didn't mean that I backed down at all. I kind of treated Last Comic Standing like it was my show, and no one else thought that. And so, yeah, we were gonna butt heads, but that's okay.
It is okay, but I wonder if you're going in thinking someone's going to be your best friend. You're a loner. He's a hero of yours. I imagine a bit of an inspiration, at least. And yes, of course, it's okay that you didn't get along, but it would have been better than okay if you had.
Sure, but it didn't make me like him less or respect him less. It was like this is an issue of mine and his. Like neither one of us had a lot of friends or was around people a lot of the time. But yeah, I think right off the bat, I think he said something. I made fun of him for it. He wasn't happy about it, and I was like, I'm going to keep making fun of you because I took this job. And I'm not just going to sit here and let you take over. And that was it was a tough week. We did 8 episodes of that show. Yeah.
And neither one of you liked being there because you thought the show was going to be something different, or you thought this particular thing, once you realized it wasn't up to your standard, you're like, what have I done? Or
I think Norm and I thought this was going to be like the Norm. I thought this was going to be the Norm and Anthony show where the comics go and perform, and they're all bad. Like they're all like young comics doing 3 minutes. It's not like the comics were bad, but it was still all about them. And if the comics were really bad and we said something funny about it, then that whole thing was cut from the show because they only wanted to show the good comics.
So Norm and I were like, what are we doing here? If we can't give our real opinion, you don't want anyone to be mean. And there's 100 fucking contestants. We were both just like, this is not the best use of our time.
Norm MacDonald is a comedian's comedian, a man who has earned both respect from his peers and laughs from the audience.
There are obviously a lot of entertaining celebrities, but Norm MacDonald used to come on our show in the early days, and those were, I thought, great television because we never knew it was happening, and it was always teetering on the edge of, it was all about to blow up. It's all about to fail, and it would always end brilliantly, and then he stopped coming around, and it was just a period that passed. And I was always sad about that because I thought, we're a very celebrity-conscious age, and people always think that the best guests are the biggest celebrities. Sometimes, the best guests are these people that you have a weird connection with, and it's compelling television. People see and they talk to me about it later on. Like, I'll be out in the world walking around, and people will say, I saw that when you were with Harlan or when you were with Norm or with Will Arnett, that really got wild and crazy in a way that they don't see on television.
But what's the movie going to be called? Really?
I know what it's going to be called.
Yeah, what's that?
If it's got Carrot Top in it, you know what a good name for it would be?
What's that, Norm?
Box Office Poison.
Smith, the girl sitting to your left, is in the movie.
I'm going to go see it for fun.
There's this movie coming out.
Yes.
Title undetermined at this point.
Chairman of the board.
Oh, all right. Do something with that, you freak.
I bet the board is spelled B-O-R-E-D.
You know, I learned a little bit about that was Norm. And of course, Norm's a little crazy, but Norm, a big host would come and we'd all get all hopped up, like, okay, Rose is gonna bring in big ratings. Let's get our AP. Where's my goat? I'm gonna throw out a goat. And Norm would sit there in the pitch meeting. We'd all be dead serious. Will would throw out, I'm going to do a cheerleader.
Right.
This one and that. And Norm would be like, yeah, I got a sketch ready. You're going in your pants, and you're just walking around, and you're like, yeah, I'm the guy with the in my pants, I hate this guy, and you look at him like he was nuts, but he knew what he was doing.
Norm knew exactly. Listen, one of the single funniest things I've ever seen in my life is when he did Letterman, how quickly he would throw the sport coat off at the end of the sketch. Nothing made me laugh harder than Norm. Doing Letterman, and I said to him, what's with the sport? You know how Letterman, how ill at ease he is with show business. Yeah. Norm said, that's all I had at the beginning. The essence of it was his discomfort. I said, this guy's a freaking genius.
My apologies to Jenna Elfman. Good night, everybody.
He is a genius. He would warm up the crowd. Now, when I would warm up the crowd, I would warm it up like I was playing the garden, and I wanted to teach everyone a lesson. If I'm cut from tonight, I want you to know I should have been on.
That I was a badass.
Yeah, I'd warm up the crowd, kill. Norm would go up behind me, and he'd go, hey, Jim Brewer and these guys, he's got all these great impressions, So I said, oh, I better learn some impressions. So, are you guys all ready? This is my newest impression of these, and I love it. Because here's Ed Sullivan. And I'm like, he's really going to do Ed Sullivan? Like, why would you? He goes, Ed Sullivan introducing the Beatles. And he goes, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Beatles. Well, I got to work on that one a little bit. I see you during the show.
He's got a little Andy Kaufman in him, Norm. He likes to frustrate, titillate a little, but then periodically he'll say something like, I feel sorry for the homeless guy's dog, because the dog's thinking, this is the longest walk I've ever been on.
I give a guy some money out there, a homeless guy in the street, and this is a kind of odd thing. He had a dog with him. You ever see this? He's a homeless guy, but he's got a dog. That kind of odd there. Guy got no home, But he's got a dog. Yeah. And the dog's really thrilled with this idea, you know. Dog's going, hey, pal, I can do this by myself pretty well here, you know. Like the longest walk in the world you got me on here. What the hell? What the hell kind of a thing? What the deuce?
Norm's hosting a sports show now, Jimbo, on Comedy Central.
Oh, that's dangerous. You and I both know that can be very.
Yeah, but that is a panel I volunteer for because I want to be in the blast site of that when that goes off because that is going to be a hoot.
Top story tonight: the NBA is rescheduling Chicago's playoff games around Oprah Winfrey's farewell show. Apparently, the Bulls are taking orders from the cows. Even more surprising than this, Michael Jordan's Hitler mustache. Have you seen these underwear ads? We have some breaking news to report here. This, just off the wire. Reuters News is reporting now that the Mike Tyson app has just raped another app.
Well, you know what? I like Norm MacDonald. Let's give him the money for the week.
I didn't even know he had a podcast.
Oh yeah, dude, Norm MacDonald. Did you see him on Conan telling that moth joke?
No.
Yeah, you got to see it.
No, I haven't.
Dude, you know how many comics out there don't give a fuck, but kind of still do. You have to kind of still do to eat. That guy
Norm
truly
doesn't. He's so fucking funny.
One of my best opening monologue jokes ever. Did you ever see? Remember that whole thing when he was doing Weekend Update and they told him to make it funnier. So he didn't. He just was more Norm the next week. So eventually, of course, he gets fired. So then, he goes off into the Hollywood world. He's got a TV show or a hit movie or some shit. So now they bring him back to guest host on SNL. And I'm going to butcher this, but he kind of came out. He's like, yeah, so, people know I got fired from this show. So now they got me back hosting, which means either I got a lot funnier or this show sucks. That's what he went.
You're very kind. You know, in the, what's that? Oh, yeah, no, you're absolutely right. That is my name. You know, when the people here asked me to do the show, I got to say, I felt kind of weird, I don't know if you remember this, but I used to actually be on this show, I used to do the Weekend Update news routine. You remember that? And, yeah. That's where I did the make-believe news jokes, That was me, right? So then, a year and a half ago, right, I had a sort of a disagreement with the management at the NBC. I wanted to keep my job, right? And they felt the exact opposite. So you see, they fired me because they said that I wasn't funny, Now with most jobs, I could have had a hell of a lawsuit on my hands for that, but see, this is a comedy show. So they got me, you know what? But now, this is the weird part, right? It's only a year and a half later, and now they asked me to host the show. So I wondered, I go, hey, wait a second here. Hey! I go, how did I go in a year and a half from being not funny enough to be even allowed in the building to being so funny that I'm now hosting the show? How did I suddenly get so damn funny? It was inexplicable to me, because a year and a half, let's face it, is not enough time for a dude to learn how to be funny. Then it occurred to me, I haven't gotten funnier. The show has gotten really bad. So yeah, I'm funny compared to, well, you'll see later. But okay, so let's recap. The bad news is, I'm still not funny.
The good news is the show blows. All right, folks, we got a bad show for you tonight. Dr. Dre, Snoop Doggy Dogg, and Eminem are here. We'll be right back.
It goes, there's comics, and then there's comics. Is one of the rare comics, which means 6 people think he's funny. Norm MacDonald.
In a highly unusual ruling, the California State Supreme Court declared this week that O.J. Simpson attorney Alan Dershowitz is, quote, one ugly bastard. Meanwhile, Simpson Dream Team attorney Alan Dershowitz was back in the news this week, and good Lord is he ugly. Take a look at the guy. I mean, this is an ugly, ugly guy. No two ways about it. An ugly character. All right. It was reported this week that Simpson prosecutors Marcia Clark and Chris Darden often passed sexually explicit notes back and forth at the trial. Notes which discussed each other's, quote, turn-ons. And according to the notes, both Darden and Clark are turned on by the same freakish thing, Alan Dershowitz. Last week at a dramatic press conference about the crash of TWA Flight 800, ABC News correspondent Pierre Salinger displayed a document which he believes is proof that the jet was shot down by a U.S. Navy missile. Later, he proudly showed reporters his solid gold Rolex that he bought on the street for just $15. That's one ugly bastard, isn't it? It is. Washington Power to some Mary Madeline and James Carville are expecting their first baby in July. No one knows if the baby will be a Democrat or a Republican, but doctors are sure of one thing. It will be weird looking. Leona Helmsley fired a maid this week for stealing her Victoria's Secret lingerie. And you think she looks hot here, huh? Imagine, if you would, with the... This week, President Clinton made history when he nominated Madeleine Albright to be first female Secretary of State. Responding to critics who say that she is not the best choice, the president insisted, quote, she looks a lot better after a couple of drinks. Meanwhile, Republican hopeful Phil Gramm says that Bob Dole should not get the nomination because he backed President Clinton's plan to send troops to Bosnia. Dole responded that Gramm should not be nominated for president because, well, look at him. Take a gander at the fella. Incidentally, Ms. Maston will be represented in her civil suit by feminist attorney Gloria Allred, who is also quite unattractive. No box of chocolates, that one. The most famous vineyard in France, Chateau Mouton Rothschild, has been getting complaints about a new wine label which features a sketch of a naked woman. It should be noted, however, that the sketch is of Sally Jesse Raphael. So. Nobody wants to see that. For the 5th year in a row, People magazine has named John F. Kennedy Jr. one of its 50 most beautiful people. Meanwhile, Big Red Nose magazine has named Ted Kennedy one of its 50 faces most ravaged by drink. Former Interior Secretary James Watt was indicted this week for still having a large light bulb-shaped head. To discourage worship of the Dalai Lama, the Chinese government has banned all photos of the exiled Tibetan leader, except for this photo from the 70s. And filmmaker Ken Burns announced that following his baseball series, his next documentary project will be a 12-hour, 8-part history of the dorky haircut. The first deaf Miss America, Heather Whitestone, was crowned last week in Atlantic City. Although completely deaf, she is an expert lip reader. Personally, I don't think she's that pretty, you know. Not my cup of tea. According to an obscure 14th century law, British Army Captain James Hewitt could be hanged for having an affair with Princess Diana. The punishment for having sex with Princess Diana is death. The punishment for having sex with Princess Anne is having sex with Princess Anne. Senator Strom Thurmond, at 94, the oldest person ever to serve in Congress, has been hospitalized this week with a bout of the flu. Doctors who examined the senator thoroughly got kind of nauseous. No matter how hard he tries not to, House Speaker Newt Gingrich just continues to scare the bejesus out of little kids. In a recent interview, tenor Luciano Pavarotti says that he is so in love with his new girlfriend that he likes to run nude on the beach with her. Read all about this in this month's issue of Things That Make Me Vomit. That picture makes me vomit as well. A new development in the Marv Albert story. This week, his accuser, Vanessa Perhatch, decided to go public, allowing news agency to print her name and picture. Following the publications of the photograph, legal experts were left wondering, who was the real victim? Not easy on the eye. Well, it's official. Sportscaster Marv Albert, convicted last month on assault and battery charges, will serve no jail time. But the big story was outside the courthouse, where the second accuser from his trial, Patricia Maston, showed her face in public for the first time. This new development had legal experts asking once again, who was the real victim here? A celebrated Hollywood cosmetic surgeon whose clients include Michael Jackson, Phyllis Diller, and Joan Rivers has been accused of fondling patients while they were under anesthesia. The case has legal experts wondering, who is the real victim here? This week, a milestone in rock music. REM drummer Bill Berry has announced that he is quitting the band. Berry, who has been with REM for 17 years, says the decision to leave was entirely mutual between himself and his giant eyebrow. They talked it over and they decided it was best for both of them. An extremely rare albino lobster found recently in Maine will not end up on a dinner table, but will instead live out its days in a private aquarium. The lobster has already been flown from Casco Bay to Texas, where it will be lovingly cared for by rock legend Johnny Winter. Finally, in entertainment news, there are rumors that actor Don Johnson is dating 71-year-old San Francisco socialite Denise Hale. An observer who spotted the couple necking in a restaurant will have trouble getting an erection for the rest of his life. Well, finally, the Guinness Book of World Records announced this week that Gul Mohammed of New Delhi, at 22.8 inches tall, is the shortest man in the world to have Eddie Murphy's head. Earlier today, the biggest auction ever of Beatles memorabilia took place in Tokyo. Among the one-of-a-kind items on the block were Paul McCartney's birth certificate, a white Mercedes-Benz owned by John Lennon, and rarest of all, a photo of George Harrison not looking haggard. Have you ever seen one when you think about it? In a recent interview, Paul McCartney confessed that Bob Dylan turned the Beatles on to marijuana. In return, George Harrison turned Dylan on to looking old and haggard.
I've never seen a picture of George Harrison not haggard.
He's somewhere, he's be-haggard. He's like beleaguered and haggard. Like he's haggard with a beleaguered
Be-haggard?
thought. Yeah.
I just want the new people. Oh, hey, guess what? There's a young girl that's middling attractive that swears a lot. Let's get her. Right? Is that the new fucking thing?
Yeah.
Sarah Silverman,
Hot girls-
hysterical.
Right.
Who's funnier than her?
Nobody.
No, except dudes. But,
Nobody.
but I think she's spawned these other ladies that they forget that she's funny, and they think the whole point is just to be
Semi-hot.
attractive, and then talk about sucking cock. And
You got to
crazy
show a
shit.
lot of leg. You got to show a lot of leg with
Yeah,
little
yeah,
skirts on, and then talk about sucking cock and manipulating balls with your hand, and it's hysterical.
Bring back Phyllis Diller. Some ugly old bag. Rosemary. Those are the funny ladies.
Wow. Whoa, that is old.
The funny ladies always used to be ugly old bags. Or Roseanne. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you this. Of all the people that you've ever interviewed over the years, how many people would you say you've interviewed?
40,000.
40,000.
That's what they figure 40 years, about 1,000 people a year.
40,000 guests. Now, who was the physically ugliest guest you ever encountered? The ugliest.
Ugliest.
The Elephant Man. You ever interview the Elephant Man?
No, we tried.
He was ugly.
But we didn't do. We almost had Siamese twins once.
Really?
Didn't do them.
You're saying Siamese twins are ugly?
They were connected at the head.
And that
would have been difficult.
Not attractive to you?
No.
Would you marry a Siamese twin?
Now stop that. I didn't come here to be insulted.
No, but
All right.
So you never interviewed
I'm
the
trying to
Elephant
think if you asked. No, I did not interview the Elephant Man. I'm trying to think of the ugliest man I have ever interviewed. The ugliest man. Who's the guy who produces Saturday Night Live?
Lorne Michaels.
That's the man.
Yes, I've met him. He is
Hard to look at.
Not easy on the eye.
No, not. Hard to interview people like that.
Not easy on the eye. So you're saying, Larry King, that you find conjoined twins ugly?
At the head, yes.
At the head, they're ugly.
At the hip, they're not ugly. But at the head, it's grotesque.
It's grotesque.
Don't you think it's grotesque?
No, I find all humans beautiful.
Larry, that's why we love you.
In a recent interview, Jane Pauley recalled how back in the 70s, she coined the phrase bad hair day. In another recent interview, Larry King recalled how back in the 70s, he coined the phrase bad face day. 130 years after the Civil War, the state of Mississippi has finally voted to abolish slavery. Representatives say they would have liked to have done it sooner, but they were delayed due to some awfully big cotton crops. They had some kind of big cotton thing. All right. In Colorado this week, Bob Dole warned that if Pat Buchanan is the Republican nominee, the party might lose both the presidency and control of Congress. In response, Buchanan warned that if anyone other than himself becomes president, blacks will retain the right to vote. Last night, the epic disaster film Twister opened to big box office and some controversy. The Reverend Jesse Jackson has called for a boycott of the movie, claiming that not enough black people in the film are killed by tornadoes. Meanwhile, Furman, who was expected to face disciplinary action by the LAPD, may get off lightly. Under the terms of a controversial plea bargain, the charges against him have been reduced to, quote, 1 count of using the word darky. In the wake of the verdict, angry Menendez defense attorney Leslie Abramson said the jury simply chose not to believe the brothers' excuse that they had been sexually abused by their father, and says she knows why. Quote, it's because my clients are black. President Clinton was in Austin, Texas last Monday, the day of the Million Man March. The president said in a speech, I'm here to speak to you today because right now in Washington, D.C., there's like 1 million black guys. In Nashua, New Hampshire this week, a high school student, Chris Connolly, while attempting to dunk a basketball, lost his balance, crashed down on the rim, and shattered 2 front teeth. Gee, I wonder if by some crazy chance Chris is white. This week week, as America marked the 50th anniversary of Jackie Robinson's entry into Major League Baseball, there was a sobering reminder that racial prejudice in sports is not yet a thing of the past. In a shocking move, today, all but one of the 125 playing members of the Professional Golf Association has signed a petition to ban African American golfers from the tour. And now a correction to a story we ran last week. Prince Charles is actually the one in the middle. So we apologize for that.
I don't know why black was black.
Black is great.
Black is great.
Black is fantastic. Right?
Yeah, I mean, black is fantastic.
Even though, you know, they're not black anymore. But then again, we're not white, right?
Right.
We're pink like his fucking asshole. We're all,
Seen it.
We're all the colors of Bobby's asshole deep down. Beautiful. It's beautiful. Roseanne hired me as a stand. You know, I was doing stand-up, and Roseanne said, "Would you like to be on the show and act?" You know, you can be Lori's boyfriend. I said, "I can't act." I should have said I could act.
Yeah.
So anyway, she said, "Well, why don't you be a writer?" But one time in the writing room, she would give jobs to crazy guys sometimes, and she gave a job to African American. I don't know what you call them. I call them African Americans.
That's those two words that are never heard in the state of Texas, you know. That's a joke, son. Tell me.
And we're saying African American, and when you say that, it feels uncomfortable, right? To your tongue.
No. What are you supposed to say?
Well,
no, just tell me what you're supposed to say.
I definitely would not say the A word.
Right.
That's what I call it.
Yeah.
The A-A word.
Yeah.
African American. Can you do an African American accent?
Try, yeah.
Okay. We'll give you an African American.
Your mom is so fat she developed type 2 diabetes and congestive heart failure. Snap! Hey, George, my mother is so fat when she came to Vegas they had to build another hotel.
Guy goes, "You got the do-rag?" He goes, "You know, I'm fucking my woman, you know, and I don't want to answer the phone. Oh, shit, it could be a job, and you know." And then, you know, after you take the do-rag, you wipe off your dick with the do-rag. And I'm like, "No, I don't do that." But everyone in the audience is like, "Yeah, we all do that. We all wipe our dicks off." You know the Harlem Shake?
I've seen it on every single commercial.
You've seen it. Then you'll appreciate this joke. I remember back when the Harlem Shake was just a black fella holding me upside down off a fire escape trying to collect his money. Orange is the new black, but not in my apartment building. Kevin is the new black.
Presidential fact. Barack Obama is the first president to ever say the N-word as a term of endearment.
Yeah, that's not how George Washington used it.
No, I don't think it was a term of endearment.
No,
Today is the 11th birthday of President Obama's youngest daughter, Sasha, or as I like to call her, the uppity one.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Jesus
I'm a regular Mozart.
Dr. Dre announced that he's the first hip-hop billionaire, a regular J. Paul Ghetto.
He thinks you mean Japan.
Al Sharpton said that the FBI hired him to spy on the mob in the 1970s because if there's one thing the mob trusts, it's loud black guys.
About Donald Sterling.
Oh, good. All the charities that Donald Sterling donated millions of dollars to are giving the money back to him. Well, that'll show him. It's not bad.
Never trust a black guy wearing a Dirk Nowitzki jersey. In Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals between the Mavericks and the Thunder, Magic Johnson said that Dirk Nowitzki is playing like he has 3 legs, which is a nice way of saying he's playing like a black guy. Show Oklahoma City's second-round NBA playoffs. Great dunk from Westbrook, though I'd be more impressed if he weren't young and black. Moscow Roy Jones Jr. is down. Boring. If I wanted to see an old black guy get punched in the face, I'd look out my window.
Eastern Conference Final in Miami, and LeBron crushes Kyle Korver in transition. Always shocking when a black guy running forward is faster than a white guy running backwards.
Usually I pick the bigger, blacker guy.
President Obama is a phenomenal player at basketball for a president of the United States. But I think he's just mediocre for a black guy. Hey, what about bringing in Jackie Robinson? Only team with a black guy in it. That's not cheating? Where I grew up, that's cheating. Last week, Indiana Pacer Danny Granger called Joakim Noah of the Chicago Bulls a coward. Now, where I come from, those are fighting words. But I have no idea how the black community views them. Middleweight boxer Bernard Hopkins has caused a stir by implying that Donovan McNabb is not black enough. The two men have decided to settle their differences with an old-fashioned game of who cannot catch a cab.
Everybody's bringing up these licenses for illegals and that they need to have them. And my question is, where are they getting the license plates? Obviously, we're letting them register vehicles without licenses. And in this day of car bombs and stuff, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Thank you, Dan from Boise. Norm, what's your feeling?
Well, I know that the New York Governor Spitzer, I'm trying to get to learn things, but he doesn't want to issue licenses to illegal immigrants, you know, and I don't know how the hell you're going to get a cab in New York City anymore. I mean, it's hard enough, you know, for me especially. As a black man. Now, listen, Dennis. Have you heard about this Huckleberry Finn thing?
I heard something about they wanted to take the N-word out, right?
Yeah, anyways, I wanted to bring it up before I forgot, and then we'll get on to my my project.
All right. Do you have any observation on it, any tweak on it, or just the cognizance of the fact that they want to?
No, well, I feel it's a thorny issue.
Mm-hmm.
No, that wasn't the whole thing.
No.
I thought you were going to go like, well, how so, or something.
Tell us more, Norm.
Why don't you
I feel it's a thorny issue.
Yeah,
I'll tell
me
you why.
too. Why, Norm?
Well, you got Mark Twain, you know, and you're talking about, I mean, for those of you who don't know, you know, what I'm talking about, they've taken out the N-word, you know, out of many of the books of Huckleberry Finn.
Norm, they've taken out.
And so you got a thorny issue that I think I have a solution to. Do you want to hear it?
Oh, man. Never anything more.
Well, the thorny issue is this.
Yes.
You know, you don't want to take, you know, Mark Twain, you know, one of the greatest writer ever to brush paper with ink, you know, and change his words, for God's sake. On the other side of the coin, you don't want to have a young African American boy in school, you know, hearing that word out loud and causing him pain. So it's a thorny issue. But I figure it this way. You've read Huckleberry Finn.
You are so splendidly demented. Yeah, I've read it.
You know it's written in the first person by Huckleberry Finn.
Yes, I do.
And you know it includes the N-word.
Yes.
Therefore, you just change Huckleberry Finn to a black kid.
And it's like a rap song at that point, right?
Exactly. Everything's cool.
Okay, Norm, come to my 5th grade class. I dare you.
Well, where does she? Is it? Are there black people there?
Oh my God! Where's the 925? Why is it harder if there's black people there?
Because black people are generally poor, and poor people are generally dangerous.
Oh my God!
Wow,
I can't
Norm.
believe you just went there.
What? Black people are rich?
Black people span all the strata.
No.
And you're saying
you
that
gotta
white
check
people
your
are
statistics.
poor and
no,
my
black
God.
people are poorer than white people. You didn't know that? Are you telling me that you think black?
What I'm saying is that I try not to pigeonhole people into black people
truth.
are poor, not into the truth. Listen, there's a huge ignored middle class black population out there. How dare you say black people are poor and therefore dangerous?
Because I want them to be not poor. That's why.
And really, how are you gonna? What's your plan?
My plan is to first of all admit that the black people have less money than white people. Because we live in a racist
our phone
society.
number is 800-400-FM97. If you'd like to talk with Norm MacDonald, I'm sure he'd love to take your call
Absolutely.
right now. Michelle, you're on the air.
I just wanted to say that was one of the funniest things I've ever heard. And you need
What, that black
you're
people
not-
are poor? It's hilarious.
The teacher thing, and you need to probably act like you're not offended by that, because first, you don't have a right to act like you're offended, and that was funny as hell. He is right about black people being poor. You know it. I know it.
Oh,
and the
my
black
God,
people know
what
it.
has happened on this show?
Well, he taught us a lot today. I think moms.
Oh, it's a learning show.
Moms
That's
an
Wait
easy
a
job.
second. Where have
Teachers
you
an
guys
easy
been
job.
living for the last 300 years in this
Steve,
country?
you're on the air.
Normie.
Yeah, hey, baby.
Hey, you were awesome on the Boss Saget roast.
Oh, thanks, man. That's nice of you to say.
You're the best all time on the roast, actually.
Oh, really?
That's sweet.
All right, hold on. Paris, you are on the air.
I think that is completely untrue.
Go on.
Not all black people are poorer
Amen.
than
Sister?
white.
Well, I didn't say that.
That's what you
No,
just said.
you said
I
black
said
people
black
have
people
less money
have
than
less
white people.
money than white people.
You've
Yeah.
been to West Virginia? Because there's some white people with no money there.
Well,
exactly.
Well, okay. You're saying one black person has more money than one
Yeah,
white
okay,
person.
like, what
True.
about Eddie Murphy?
Yeah, what about Eddie Murphy?
You're
Yeah.
saying by and
No,
large,
you're right.
if you
You're
break
right.
it down.
You're right. Yeah, of course, black people have less money than white people.
As
Not
an
true.
average.
Not all black people have less money than white people.
Oh
but
my
he's talking
God.
in
Oh my
we all
God.
get what he's saying.
Listen. Guys in wheelchair. There's a guy in a wheelchair that can go faster than me in a race. But if I said guys in wheelchairs are generally slower than me, you know, come
The
on.
way you said it was so harsh that to
Give
say.
your head a shake. Give your head a shake.
Oh my God! All right, thank you. Hey, it's Danielle from Big Brother, famously black woman.
Where's my 40 acres and a mule? I need my 40 acres and a mule. But you know what? He's right.
Yeah.
Go on, Danielle.
I mean, if you think
School
about
us.
it, there's been cases where the same person will apply for a job, and at times the other race gets the higher pay. I'm just keeping it real, folks.
All right, thank you, Danielle.
Absolutely.
Chunky, you're on.
Good morning, Abnormal. How are you?
How are you, Chunky?
Hey, what about Mexicans? Are they hard workers? And are Jews stingy? What's the rest of it? And why don't white people have any culture in this country? And I totally hear you about the iPod. I'm sick of all my songs, too.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right, just sum it all up, Norm MacDonald.
Well, I'm saying that having
Try
less
to offend everyone equally.
having less money or having or not having less money is not a product of your nature. It's that you don't have the money because the white people don't give you the money.
It's actually supportive of black people to say that, actually.
707
Of course,
says.
I'm supportive of black people. I'm in
Wow.
a room of
You're saying
racists.
that to have justice,
Oh
we should
my
all
God!
have equal,
The 415 says maybe we should
That's
educate
funny.
our children a la Lord of the Flies. Norm, just throw all the kids on an island and let them sort out their own society. I can't read that.
Yeah, that would probably be better. Yeah, I agree.
Sure, throw them in there and just let the weak be killed and the strong survive.
And Jews
No,
are
that's
good
what.
with
Listen,
money.
that's
I mean,
what.
that's the other thing.
That's what we're doing as adults. We're doing that as adults. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
We are. I just got handed a note. Do you want to keep him for the next segment? At this point, I'm not sure. I'm finding Norm to be somewhat on the offensive side.
You know what, though? I love that he's saying all this stuff and then looks over with a big smile.
I know,
and
big smile. He's like, oh man, they're going to talk about this all day.
Well, I didn't know that everyone. I thought San Francisco was a little more open than.
No, San Francisco actually
they're racist?
isn't. No, they're not racist.
Well, so far, by the way, most people have agreed with me.
Lindsay, you're on the air.
Hey, Norm.
Hi, Lindsay.
Hi, I teach 5th grade.
hard.
Huh?
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it's hard. I mean,
and black people are rich.
And I have some black kids in my class that are way richer and way smarter than some of the white kids. So.
okay. Well, you know what? Black people are richer than white people.
Thank you.
I made a mistake.
Thank you, John. You're on the air.
Hey, Norm.
Hey.
Hey, man, you were easily the greatest thing that ever happened to Saturday Night Live.
Thanks, man. That's
Yeah,
nice of you to say.
the greatest updates ever. You did hell of Letterman.
All right, cool. Thank you, John. All right, here's what we're going to do.
Oh,
what? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Are we going to do another segment with him or not?
I almost think we have to.
Because I actually was in the audience when you know how I went to Saturday Night Live that one time?
I do, and this is one of my favorite
You did the
stories.
update.
All right,
And,
hold on. Hold that
yeah.
thought. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, Norm and his babysitter, Steve, will still be here offending people left and right. Stevie Ray from
We're not offending anyone but racists.
How do you figure? To make a sweeping generalization that belittles it is.
It's not a sweeping generalization. It's a statistical fact, and it belittles no one. It only states a fact that I hope we can change in this country. If we're going to pretend that black and white people make the same amount of money, then nothing will ever change. Come on, you know that.
Can't we just see it as everybody?
Well, we can see it any way you want it. If you want to pretend.
Sarah's looking for some
If you want to live in a fantasy world,
and you're not going to find it.
No, there's not a clean out.
You're digging.
I'm breaking.
You're digging deeper
we'll
and deeper.
be back. Alice at 97.3, Norm MacDonald, and Stevie Ray Fromstein are sitting in here with us.
The texts are great.
Yes. And thanks for the phone calls, too, 800-400-FM97. You can talk to Norm if you like. All right, our text number is 25423. You can call us at 800-400-3697. A text from the 650. I'm a black woman, and Norm is right and hysterical. Sarah, you're living in a fantasy land if you think we're all equals. 805 says, rude. I'm a second-grade teacher, and I hate you.
Rude. That sounds like a second-grade teacher.
No, Jimmy, that was just rude. Can we think of another way to say that?
To be a second-grade teacher, you just have to be smarter than a second-grade student. That's about the only thing you have to be.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, basically you need third-grade intelligence. To teach second grade. You know everything that they need to know. But a fourth grade teacher, if you're a third grade teacher, you need fourth grade.
Here's a question.
I don't want any more of your questions.
No. What? Why do I always hear this from women?
Okay, what?
That women make less money than men.
I don't believe that that's true
racist.
in every case, and I don't believe that is
Of course
racist.
not true in every case.
It's not true for me.
Yeah, no, not the case in this room.
I think things are changing, and I think that when it comes to racism, things are changing, too. I'm trying to look for the positive.
I think that black lady made a good point.
Which one? That I'm
I think
living
her
in
name was
fantasy
Ruth,
land?
that you're living in a fantasy land because the black people that you encounter probably make a lot of money.
707 on a text says, I wish I was a fly on the wall during that last break. I think I heard Sarah yelling at Norm up here in Healdsburg.
I wasn't yelling.
Every black person I interview in this program has lots of money.
Wow.
No, she actually said she was wrong during that break.
Yeah, which never has happened.
No, I said,
ever.
what I said was, I'll just say I'm wrong.
You're the kind of guy that likes games. Here's a game that I thought of today. It's called Talk Your Way Out of It. I'm going to give you a situation that you're stuck in, and you're going to need to talk your way out of it somehow.
Okay.
You meet a beautiful woman. She wants to have sex with you, but she wants you to wear an afro wig. And while you're having sex with her, she's screaming racist shit at you. And then her neighbor opens the door and comes in. He's a black guy, and he's got a baseball bat.
So I agree to do it.
Oh yeah,
Is that
you
what
want to
you're
have
saying?
sex with her.
So you're doing it?
You're willing to wear the black African wig, and she's screaming horrible racist stuff. The guy walks in, he's black, and he's got a baseball bat. He's very angry.
He walks in coito, like while we're doing it?
Yeah, her door wasn't fully locked, and the yelling was so loud. He could hear you guys from next apartment. He could hear her yelling the N-word and, fuck me. And
I got you.
And so
how do I talk? You want me to talk?
Now, you got to talk to the black gentleman who's got the baseball bat and talk your way out of this situation.
Okay. Hey, bro, let's kill this honky bitch.
So you just commit to black. You just go,
Yeah,
I'm with you.
Come on, man, you and me, jive turkey.
And that was Talk Your Way Out of It. with Norm MacDonald.
Some gold-plated chains would make a nice retirement gift for a very, very good slave. Well,
Are you serious?
Well, this was written.
Are you serious?
This was written years ago.
Did you just write that?
I didn't write it.
Did you just say that?
No, I read it, yes.
You read that?
There's an old...
Researchers in Russia say that the dolphins have a distant spoken language of their own.
You're saying that dolphins have a distinct language all their own?
So what's the solution that they use the N-word? Ooh, that they use the N-word constantly.
No, what word do they use?
Nigger word, N-word.
Oh, yeah. What'd you call it?
Dolphins?
The what word?
Nigger. Nigger, ninja.
Word, yeah.
Say, I want to hear you say that word.
I don't want to say it because then it'll be on tape forever. I say it in my private life many times.
$19.92. Oh, sorry. Yeah. These
you know you're a real prick, though, right?
What? What's the matter?
You're a real prick. You just hit me with all the disgusting pictures.
Oh, no, but if you don't want to comment on it, don't.
No, I will
I'm just
comment on it, but you're a prick.
No, what? No, I didn't. I'm just trying to. We're trying to. If you don't want to comment on it, you don't have to.
I am going to comment on it, but you're a prick. I'm just letting you know. Continue.
We're coming back here.
You're unsensitive. You have no sensitivity to anything. I'm not. It doesn't affect me, but I'm saying you have no sensitivity. You don't know how this affects me.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. It's just that your life is the point I was making, Mike, and I'm going to ask you about it.
All right, and I give you my opinion, what I think about you.
All right, well, your life has been shown on the cover of a magazine. That's something
okay,
that
go ahead. Give me the next one.
Now, some of your critics would say, there's a race for mayor. We know you're a convicted rapist. This could hurt his campaign. How would you respond to that?
So interesting that you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit.
Hey,
with that comment.
Come on.
No, that was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit.
We're doing live TV
now. I don't care. What are you gonna do about it?
Is it nerve-wracking for you to do something like this, or is it more nervous for you to box? How does it compare?
I don't know. It's more nerve-wracking for me to hear us talking to a rat piece of shit like you.
Come on, Mike.
No, because you're a piece of shit.
All right,
really have to
we're gonna wrap up this interview. Thank you for coming in.
Fuck you.
Say it, hunky. Say it, hunky. Say nigga, hunky. Say it, hunky.
Listen, am I wrong or am I imagining that?
No, say nigga, hunky. Say it, hunky. Come on, cracker.
Mike, I have to ask you a question.
Say it.
I can't say it. Make him say it. Mike, make Adam Egan say it, Mike. God damn.
Oh, my God almighty. I'm not part of this.
No, it was written
before.
No,
I'm not part of this.
Everything's expensive. Everything costs money there, I went to buy a dog. I couldn't believe how much these dogs cost. Salesman in a store trying to sell me the most expensive dog in the store, Big $600 dog. Big pit bull, $600, And I was looking to pay, maybe a buck, something like that, maybe $2, something like that, But I was going, hey, don't you got a bargain dog around the joint here? Any kind of a dog of the week going on this week? A big bin of dogs, maybe, that I could pull something out of there? But this guy goes, no, he says, why don't you buy this pit bull? He says, this kind of expensive dog, but he goes, this will protect your valuables, this dog. And, I don't have anything very valuable, I don't own a lot of stuff there, I buy the pit bull. That would be the most valuable thing I own, right? I'd have to buy something to protect it then, I'd be out shopping for Wolverines the next day there. Show me something in a timber wolf, my good man. I'd be saying to some good man there. No, you don't want a dog like that, man. I want a dog do things for me, Fetch my slippers. That's the joy of having a dog, Pitbull won't do that stuff. Go, hey, Pitbull, fetch my slippers. Pitbull go, hey, I could kill you, pal. I'm a Pitbull. Don't you read the papers or anything? I kill. That's how I don't fetch. I fetch people. That's all I fetch. I can fetch you a guy. That's the best I could do there. And maybe you're wearing some slippers. How'd that be? When I was young, no such thing as a pit bull. When I was a kid, it was the meanest dog around, the Doberman dog, And they'd kill you, too. They'd rip your throat out just the same, But not fast like a pit bull, eh? A Doberman always give you a little head start there, you know? They were a sporting dog, them Doberman. They'd see you in the street, they'd go, hey, that your house over there? Yeah, go ahead. Then they soar through the air and rip your throat out. And do a flip, you know, and you'd be impressed, even though you're dead, you know. Man, look at that flip. But I don't want it. You don't see Dobermans around anymore. You ever notice that? Pit bulls now, they got all the work and everything. All the domestic security jobs go to the pit bulls. And, man, a Doberman's like the forgotten dog now, you know. Once in a while you see him on a park bench with a Frisbee there, you know. I used to be somebody. I'm a Doberman. Got a buck? Buck for the Doberman? So I don't get any of those killer dogs, you know. I always buy a dog. When I'm buying a dog, I think to myself, I go, hey, if this dog goes berserk, could I take him? I got a nice wiener dog. I got one of them wiener dogs. Wiener dog can't rip your throat out or anything like that, you know? Unless you're lying down, you know. You have to be lying down sleeping there, you know, and a wiener dog sneak up late at night, start nibbling at your throat there. Maybe by daybreak he's got a hold of a vein there, he's pulling out a vein there. You know, you wake up, oh, get away from me, you wiener dog. The hell do you think you are, a pit bull or something there? Get my vein back there. Where's he get out of a wiener dog? There's a hickey, a little hickey there. That's about all. And that's embarrassing too. Hey, you ever have a hickey, man? You be walking down the street, people see you. Hey, you got a wiener dog over there, huh? So I do, now that you mention it. Well, a beef-flavored water for dog hit stores this week, and dogs are eagerly anticipating the arrival next month of the newest water flavor, other dogs' asses. That it? Whoop! There I am. I thought I was over there. A sheepdog carrying $250,000 worth of cocaine in its stomach was found at JFK Airport earlier this week. A customs agent got suspicious when he saw two airline employees taking turns sniffing the dog's ass. And in California, a new restaurant has opened exclusively for dogs. Their specialty? A fried chicken dinner, said to be scrotum-licking good. In Oklahoma, sheriff's deputies are using police dogs to sniff for bodies buried on an 80-acre farm. The dogs have sniffed the ground for 3 days, but so far all they've dug up is another dog's ass. In Topeka, Kansas, the fire department is now using a new weapon to fight arson. A black Labrador trained to sniff out chemicals used in setting fires. Although it should be noted, if this dog is correct, the culprit in every arson fire this month is some other dog's ass. And finally, in California, pet owners. Pet owners can now take their canine friends to the world's first doggy wedding chapel, where dogs can actually be married in a civil ceremony. The ceremony ends when the justice of the peace says, "You may now sniff the ass." Well, now there is finally a matchmaking service for dogs. At Happy Animals, matchmakers guarantee to find your dog a perfect mate based on height, weight, age, and breed. So far, the dog dating service has had a 100% success rate because, according to its founders, any dog will have sex with any other dog. Well, President Clinton received an early Christmas present this week, an adorable Labrador puppy.
And presidential historians say that it will be good for his image. According to these scholars, in comparison to a male dog, the president's sex life will seem relatively normal.
I have a joke.
Oh, Norm's got a joke. Wait a minute. Here we go. Go.
A dog walks into a telegraph office where they send telegrams. Telegram office, right? And so the guy says, "Okay, what do you want your telegram to read?" So the dog goes, "Woof woof woof, woof woof woof, woof woof woof." And then the guy goes, "Oh, I notice you have 9 words. Do you want to put an extra woof like it's for free?" And then the dog goes, "No, that wouldn't make any sense."
Can I tell you a great story about Norm MacDonald?
Go ahead. Norm Kenny?
I don't know what the story is. Oh, it's the dog story in Vegas.
Here now is a dog story about Norm in Vegas. Go ahead.
It's the greatest story in the history of the world. Norm's in Vegas, and they give him a massive suite because he loses about $11 million a minute.
Yeah, and that World Series of Poker kind of stuff, right?
Well, that was well before that.
Okay.
The World Series of throwing away your money.
Oh, and now for the World Series of throwing away your money, here's Norm MacDonald.
And he has an associate named, can I give her name?
Sure, yeah.
No, Lori. I'm not going to give her whole name.
Lojo.
Okay, so we got her whole name. And she's adorable.
And her family's listening.
Right. And she has a dog a little bigger than my tennis shoe. And so we're going downstairs so Norm can lose some money. And Lori leaves the dog in the suite. When we come upstairs, the door is open to the suite. Mm-hmm. And it's impossible to get in unless you have a key. So obviously the dog had opened the door and left because he was fed up waiting. And the entire inside of the suite was on the floor. Wallpaper, lights, pillows, stuffing, everything.
Yeah.
And the dog was downstairs in the jail with people, with other guys, with drunks and stuff. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth.
Norm, is this true so far?
What?
Norm, is this true so far?
It is true, and then what happened was there was a band of gypsies in the next room.
Don't hear that name in here.
Yeah, they're lurking at the outskirts of town, but they must have gotten this suite because they pretended to trip down an escalator or something, and they were going to sue Lori Joe's dog for emotional distress.
The gypsies.
Don't you love having to go downstairs and bail this dog out like you would a gambler or someone who tried to steal? The dog was in jail.
Is this your dog?
And they have video of the dog in the jail cell trying to escape.
I've seen the suite. I mean, I can't even. The wallpaper doesn't come off a wall in Vegas. He took the wallpaper off, and he had watched everything he could watch on television and left.
What kind of dog is this, Norm?
I don't know.
It was a boxer.
What was that dog?
Wow.
Because you know how boxers know how to they throw up their hands, so he was able to open the door from the inside.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm confused. Where did the gypsies come in again?
They were living next door.
Oh,
they were
okay.
trying to sue everybody.
All right. So the gypsies were living next door.
You don't believe this story, and it's 100% true.
Well, Norm, I believe. I don't believe Super Dave. I believe Norm.
The dog got loose in the hall and traumatized a gypsy child.
Well, what happened is a gypsy child opened the door, and the dog was walking down the hall with a couch.
A gypsy child. Hey, where's my couch going? Who's got my couch? That dog is taking my couch.
It is kind of gross, if you're not into it, because it's like why not jerk your dog off? Your dog probably likes it, but that's because it's gross. Yeah, he's a weird one, man.
How many people, though, seriously? No, I agree with you, it's gross. Michigan man Curtis Peterson received a 15-year prison sentence for having sex with his pet pit bull. What's that, Lassie? Woof, woof. Grandpa got stuck in a well? Woof, woof. Oh, you got raped. Do you think that happens a lot? Like lonely people and their dogs?
Jerking off their dogs?
Oh, yeah. Every time I see a woman walking down the street with a real big dog, I'm like, oh, they're going out.
Women?
Women are
but they don't
going
even
out
like
with
fucking.
They're going out with their dogs. No, they get their dogs to either go down on them. You know, Judd Apatow recently, and I'm apologizing to him.
Oh, but his dog is sexy.
Veterinarians in Colorado have reported that marijuana use is on the rise amongst dogs. They say you'll know if your dog is too high if it starts making a really tall sandwich.
They like sweets better when they're high.
Yes, I don't know. You know, dogs and humans love to run because it apparently gives them a natural high similar to that of marijuana, according to the University of Arizona.
Wow.
After running what are called cannabinoids, the chemical found in marijuana that gives you a feeling of euphoria, are higher in humans and dogs, and this encourages them to run again. To 7-Eleven for a Slurpee.
A good name for a dog is Syndrome. That then when he tries to attack someone, you can yell Down Syndrome.
Don't laugh.
It's not.
I apologize.
I mean, it's yeah.
That's like
it was a little insensitive, I guess.
To stop a pit bull attacking her daughter, a Texas man bit the dog. Well, that's an interesting story. A man bites a dog. It's not what I would call news.
Man bites dog?
Yeah.
Used to be dog bites man, right?
Yeah.
Is that the joke?
Yeah.
I don't get this. I don't get it. Do you write these for real?
What is this? Looks like a dog.
It is.
It's another fucking cocksucking dog. I knew it. Anyways.
One that makes me laugh every single time. And well, I mean, I'll tell you the joke, I'll tell you in a second, but I also love the phone call that is 100% real. I almost left in the editing because as soon as we finished it, I was in the room with them. He did it completely alone, but I was in the room in there. And as soon as we finished, I said, "Who called?" And it had been his brother, Leslie.
Yellow is the best color, you know, but I don't know if you call that an opinion. You know, it's just a, oh, hold on, it's my phone. Hello? I gotta phone you back on account I'm doing a special on the TV, comedy special. So I'll call you back, okay? Okay.
So I almost left that. Oh my, I just froze there, but I almost left that. I almost left that in just so people knew that that phone call was real. But anything Norm does is real. So it's not even a question whether that was a fake call or not. It was real. And then of course with the dog barking, I like that in there too.
Like I flew in from Vegas, I remember one time, and there was some turbulence. And I was like, I'm eating that fucker in 14 years.
But Hail the Sluts makes me laugh every time. You know, for she's a jolly good slut. So anyway, that's my joke that makes me laugh every time.
And you know what I was way ahead on? Slut shaming. I was always against that. I remember telling the fellas in high school, I go, guys, I think we're making a big mistake by shaming the sluts. You see, here's what is my concern. I feel if we shame them too much, they might stop becoming sluts, you know? And further ladies might not want to be sluts either. I have a different idea. Other than shaming the sluts, it's a bold idea. I say we take the sluts and we put them on our shoulders and we go, oh, hail the slut. Oh, for she's a jolly good slut, that kind of thing, you know? So I was way ahead of it, man, way ahead of it.
I just wanna live my life. I wanna kiss you, I wanna kiss you. You told me that we should go our separate ways, but now you're back. My life without.
His mom, he mentions in it that he had a place for her nearby. He did. She's in Canada, so she would spend winters in Los Angeles, and he got her a place nearby him. And so he really did have, I know, of course, it's a joke. There's a punchline there, but the reflection on his mom is real. Yeah.
When Caitlin Clark retires from the WNBA, she's going to work at a Waffle House.
so she can continue doing what she loves most, fist fighting black women.
Afterwards, what are you laughing at? God, what are you laughing at, Shane?
Nothing. Keep talking.
Every time I start talking a little too long, he starts laughing, and it makes me self-conscious. But I'm just saying that I'm glad that we have a hang now as opposed to a show.
I like to watch the faces of people around her when she's going.
And what do you see in those faces, Shane? What do you observe, and what makes you giggle?
I see people's souls leaving their fucking bodies.
I do this for a living, Shane. It's really insulting.
I played Rogan last week.
Really?
Whoops.
Oh, is
yeah,
that picture wasn't photoshopped? The what's it
No,
called?
he ripped my shoulder off.
Wait, really?
Yeah, and I was hammered, so I was like, you can't tap me, dude. Jiu-jitsu's gay. I kept fucking with him. He tapped me like 8 times, dude. He kept going.
That easy?
Yeah.
Do you think if you were sober and he was sober that you could wrestle? At least.
No. And Ari was fucking with him while he was doing it.
Oh, he was gassing him up?
Ari was like, Shane, you're so much stronger than him. Just stand up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Rogan was like, no, he's not. It's like, dude, he's fucking with you. Stop.
Wow.
But I was drunk enough. He'd get me in like a triangle choke or something. And I'd be like, this is nothing, fucking pussy. I was like, I'm never going to fucking tap.
Drink these?
Yeah, we can drink these, man. That's sparkling. Do you mind?
This is sparkling water.
You want flat?
I don't know why I thought this was. This is
flat.
water?
If you were out drinking, take flat.
Oh, it's coffee.
It's water.
Liquid Death water? Yeah. Where's this stuff from? Flint?
I don't know. Probably. Yeah, it's actually a good call. Yeah, how is this not
Liquid Death water?
the sanctioned water of Flint?
They're having a tough time. 4-time WNBA All-Star Brittany Hicks is here. Give it up for Brittany, everybody. I'm joking around. That's my friend's wife. I knew none of you knew WNBA players. That's crazy. You clap for that.
We're having fun. Which brings me to the next point, dude. The View.
I wish I was watching The View. I know we're having fun right now.
I just wish
I
John
was
Hamm
watching The View so that I could understand comedy the way Joy Behar does. You know, hilarious comedian Joy Behar? What was that one joke she told that everyone likes? Never once, ever?
Well, my favorite one was Connor's. When he was talking about you when Khabib. And he's like, that's an illegal knee. Shut up, Joe, you fool, yeah. Call the police. That's an illegal knee.
Listen.
Fired up. Yeah.
Talking about the commentary?
He gets fired up.
Yes.
He gets on Twitter. He gets on Voice Twitter. He's the only guy on earth that uses it.
That was an illegal knee on the head of a grounded opponent. Shut up, Joe, you little fool.
Yeah, you know Epstein's innocent,
bro. That's the funniest development. Like, we are going to unveil the truth once and for all. Turns out the guy was just a fucking guy.
Regular guy.
Struggling in the world just like all of us. Yeah, that was some bullshit, bro. Also, innocent of what? He was literally a guilty pedophile. He was busted, and they sealed the records the first time.
Wasn't it like 1,000 women?
I mean, now it just sounds like you're bragging on his behalf.
Well, that's what I was going for. I was like, if he was a one-man operator, I mean, at some point you gotta go, this guy.
Wilt Chamberlain,
tip your hat.
Jeffrey Epstein.
You gotta tip your hat at some point. You go, God damn, you got a lot.
Yeah, but he was also playing in the minor leagues.
He wasn't in the minor leagues. Those are AAA. He was playing on the Harrisburg Senators.
Yeah, it'd be, imagine if you just owned a booth in the mall being like, you want to be a model? You could pull Epstein.
Would you like to meet Stephen Hawking?
It is. I mean, this isn't funny, but like,
how would you like to meet the biggest dorks around the globe?
Well, it's also
in one island.
Crazy to be like having like a gang of like 14-year-old chicks and be like, ladies, meet Stephen Hawking. And they're like, oh my God, what the fuck? He's like,
come here.
Yeah, Stardust. We are essentially like, what? That's so weird. Oh my God, that's so random.
Ew, Steven's fucking weird. Them at the party. I don't know who I want to go home with tonight. Stephen Hawking or fucking
just like Saudi princes. It's all the world leaders. Like, what the hell? That guy's weird.
Actually, there was supposed to be an Epstein joke here, but as it got deleted.
Must have probably deleted itself, right? Probably never existed, actually. Let's move on as a country and ignore that.
You were playing football and your life depended on it.
I was,
the
yeah, of course.
The bro ship depended
Absolutely.
on it.
If I would have quit, I'd have no bros.
True. You were the captain of the SS, bro.
That's why I became captain of the team.
Nice.
When you're a team captain. Now, something like that, I'll be honest, something like that drives me up a fucking wall. You're gonna
You were this close to my hand. This close.
Now,
right under you.
Look, damn, dude.
That was a DMT snake, dude. Oh my god. That was Quetzalcoatl just whoop, right under you. Fuck him.
Try to put me in Juice WRLD? Try to put me into Juice WRLD?
Do you still see the shadows?
If you guys don't want to do this, we can not do this. I don't care. I got better. I have so much going on.
You attacked my family.
Fuck you guys' family, dude. I hope there's a fire and you're all in it. There was a hammered guy next to us at the bar. It's like 2 p.m.
Yeah.
We're at the bar, and then Steve leaves.
No, because you were telling me to golf commentate, and then
and then he jumped in and he's like, you're not that good. But then he comes back. Steve left, came back, and I was still at a different bar, and the drunk guy was there again at another bar. And we watched as the bartender walked over out of nowhere, slammed the guy's tab on the table and said, "Get the fuck out of here, you piece of shit." And the guy, who wasn't doing anything wrong, he was just blacked out, he just goes,
That's such a perfect. He couldn't believe
it. And then we watched him like figure out should he tip. We saw him fill it out and then go.
That's a tough moment.
And
You
then-
ever been kicked out?
I've
He
probably
was the
been kicked
kick out.
Yeah, I've probably.
He was
been
a
kicked
bouncer
out.
back in the day.
I've definitely gone to a bar and they've been like, "No, you can't even come in." Like, all right. Aaron Rodgers did not take the vaccine because he predicted it would be bad for him. And then he joined the New York Jets. So maybe he wasn't. Yeah. I haven't cried. Like, my grandma died today.
Right.
That's true.
Really?
That's true. Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
God!
yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah, I
sorry.
forgot
How
about
old was
it.
she?
I sorry to throw that grandma thing in there.
No,
It's pretty funny though, right?
It's hilarious. It's
Hey,
hilarious.
I'll
that
tell you this too.
An
I'll
old
cut you
woman
off.
died.
Yeah, this old woman died. My mom's mom. That was my last grandparent.
Did you
died.
like her?
I couldn't think of one nice memory. My mom and her siblings were around my dying grandma, and she like took her like, and my aunt walked over and like grabbed her head and was like, "Oh, mom." And then my grandma was like, and scared her.
Yeah.
And then she jumped, and then they all started laughing. And my family was dying laughing.
Yeah.
While my grandma died. She
Right.
died with her kids around her laughing.
That's great.
What
That's
a great
the best way to go.
What a nice
It's the
thing.
best way to go.
Just laughing their asses off.
Just
while she's
laughing.
Like,
while she's choking.
yeah. Caitlin Clark, she and I have a lot in common. We're both whites from the Midwest who have nailed a bunch of threes.
It really just says the Great Lakes.
I could probably.
Probably want to. They probably want to.
You can name all of them, right? It's
Like-
easy. It's
like-
Homes.
like Michigan?
You just got to remember Homes. That's the acronym.
I heard that.
H. Huron.
Huron, obviously.
O.
Ontario.
M.
Michigan.
E.
Erie. Hell yeah.
S. It's what the white race is. We got 40 more days of goofing. We're going to get them in. When Trump... The answer's superior. I'm just kidding. That was fun.
Listen here, America. We're
Listen,
fucking around.
We're done joking. Jokes are done. We promise no more jokes.
True.
So there's an episode where he takes his shirt off. We're doing like a salesman. You know that Andy Elliott guy that's like,
Yeah.
take your shirt off. You got a fucking fat piece of shit.
Oh, yeah,
Which
yeah.
as a fat guy, it's a fucking nightmare. It terrifies me. It's the scariest.
That guy is so funny.
He is funny
Have you
as fuck.
seen the-
But
Anyway.
we do like an episode where we're watching like an Andy Elliott type salesman guy, and he brings the Steve goes on stage and takes his shirt off. And when we're talking about like when we're in the writer's room and before we filmed, Steve was like, I gotta tell you, I've been working out, Shane. You're gonna be pissed off.
You're not gonna like what you see.
He's like, you're not gonna like what you see. And then I'm sitting in the crowd while we're filming it, and he takes his shirt off, and they look like shit. It's not your fault. It was not your fault.
How is it not his fault?
Am I
Because the guy next to him was so strong.
But also, one, I don't actually look good topless. I have like a praying mantis body. Like I have no shoulders, so it's very weird to look at. Two, we were like eating like kings.
So
So
funny. right
every
now.
day I was
He
having
takes
like chicken cheesesteaks and French fries.
The audible gasp when you took his shirt off.
Yeah.
In the crowd, people were like, "Oh." I had to leave the room. I had to leave the seat. I was like, I can't be in here.
Juice. Now, I'm not going to say who's doing that. It is this. You've seen him do that, right? Have you seen Kanye do that?
No.
Dude, he's talking about getting diagnosed. He's like, now I'm not allowed to say what race the guy was, who the doctor was, who misdiagnosed me. You know I get in trouble if I say what race it was, so I'm not going to do that.
We know I can't say that. It was a Jewish doctor.
He was Jewish. He does, dude. He does it. Hold on, you gotta see it. I mean, fuck it. Well,
I thought you just made that up. I'm like, that's the funniest shit I've ever
It's the funniest shit of all time, dude. Yeah, hit him with it.
Damn, you had that loaded?
Oh, I mean, it's circuit.
It was a Jewish doctor.
You know I can't say that.
Oh my God.
How funny is that shit?
That's hilarious.
Hitting the fucking crossed arms, I'm not gonna do it. Not even taking a breath, just he's like, I'm not gonna stop doing it. He tried to stop.
He tried
his best to stop. Shohei Ohtani couldn't make it tonight. Man, I hope his interpreter didn't bet that he was gonna be here. Shohei is a once-in-a-generation talent. No one's been able to do what he does at so many positions: pitcher, hitter, and bookie. A bookie is what Bill Belichick reads to his girlfriend before bedtime. They do. They read The Very Horny Caterpillar, The Little Engine That Could But Needed a Pill First, and of course, the classic Goodnight Boobs. That's my favorite one. That's the 36 games. Get you one of these. You can look. That's like taking away OJ's Heisman.
True, dude.
It's like technically you can take away the Heisman, but we all know who won.
Yeah, exactly.
We know who won.
Yeah, dude. Come
Say
on.
what you want, but the Germans were flying that year.
Great,
36?
They're on like meth and steroids.
They were all on meth. Just like
the heart was beating 300 beats
pole
a
vaulting.
minute. Oh,
dude,
dude.
imagine being a Nazi pole vaulter. Right? Just fucking running.
Oh my God. If you didn't hit the thing, you died.
If you knew the Fuhrer was watching, then you just get smoked by a black dude in a foot race. You're like, come on, man. You're asking a lot. Sugar Ray Leonard's here. Hell yeah. Sugar Ray, you're the man, but in 10 years, Jake Paul is going to try to knock you out. So take it easy. In Vegas, I tried to put $10,000 on fucking Nate Diaz. There's a girl at the cellar that's like obsessed with him.
Yeah.
So I like texted him. I was hammered and I was like, I wouldn't do this otherwise. I was drunk. I was like, fuck it, I'll text Nate.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, will you FaceTime real quick? This girl fucking loves you. And I was like, a minute later, he didn't respond. And I texted him. I was like, I'm so fucking gay for asking you. Fuck, I suck so bad. It ruined my night. I was just like, fuck, dude. But then he FaceTimed me, and I was like, oh, shit, hold on. And I held it up, and she was like, yeah. And he was like, yo. He was like, what's up? What's going on? Like, he was just, also, he got me for the impression.
Oh, really?
We went out to dinner. That's how I know they're watching.
Okay.
People are watching.
Yeah.
I think I might have did his impression on Rogan, and he was like, we're in the middle of dinner. He's like, I don't sound like that.
No.
And I was just like,
How scared were you in that moment?
I was like, agreed, 100%. I have not done it since, dude.
We'll bleep it. We gotta bleep that, bro. We gotta bleep.
Yo, I don't sound like that. I was just like, yeah, dude, definitely. Yeah,
dude.
He does it, and everybody's like, yo,
yeah.
It's so nice.
Nah, it's great. It's refreshing when they're actually the shit.
Yeah. Joe Rogan actually wanted me to be here to host this award show so that I could capture Adam Silver because Joe thinks he's an alien. And Donald Trump wanted me to be here to capture Juan Soto for the same reason. It's an alien joke. What are you booed up there, dude? Shut up. Good year for me in sports. I went to Notre Dame, went to the national title. I was at go Irish. I was at the Eagles game, the Super Bowl when they won, and it was go Birds. Go Birds. Yeah. But I was down there. I'm just gonna tell you a story real quick. It's not a good joke. it was halftime of the game when we looked up and you could see Donald Trump. He was sitting in the suite, like at the 50-yard line. You couldn't see him, but you could see like his silhouette. You know what I mean? He was just. Also, can we stop pretending Donald Trump knows ball? It's like a weird thing where they're like, man, he loves sport. He doesn't know anything about sports. Every time a team comes and visits the White House, he's like, and you must be the guy who catches. It's like, look at these guys, big guys, black guys. And that's just when the New York Liberty visited. They didn't visit, that's just a joke. But it was halftime and we looked up and we saw Trump. I was with my buddy and I was like, we should just sneak up there and try to meet him. And we did. We got into his suite, which turns out it's pretty easy to get access to Donald Trump, which is probably why he keeps getting shot all the time. We just got right in there. But we're in there. He doesn't know who I am, but there's a line of people and he's just shaking hands with everybody. And I was at the end of the line. But also I took a picture with him and I posted it and people got upset about that. What the hell? He's the president. If Osama bin Laden was in the suite, I would have been like, yeah, you're crazy. All right. But he's shaking hands with everybody, and it's very funny. Trump does this thing whenever he meets somebody for the first time, even if he doesn't know him. He gives them like a crazy compliment. It's kind of nice. Like he got to the guy next to me, and he was like, look at you, you're beautiful. And then he got to me, and he was like, look at you, you're huge. I was like, thank you, Mr. President. But he shook my hand, he stood next to me. So I'm just, I was at the end of the line, so there's no one else for him to shake hands with. So he's just standing next. I got to hear him breathe for like a minute, just standing next to me, just. And then his daughter, Ivanka, walked over to us, which, by the way, so hot. She walked over, and it was halftime of the Super Bowl. I was hammered. I was like, hello. Your dad just said I was huge. So now it's me, Trump, and Ivanka. They're not talking to me, obviously, but I can overhear what they're saying. And Trump goes, Ivanka, how would you like to meet the president of soccer? And sure enough, the president of FIFA soccer was also in the suite with us. He was getting like nachos. And Donald Trump just looks at him and goes, you. And the guy put his plate down and walked straight to us. And then Donald Trump didn't even look at him. He just kept talking to his daughter, and he goes, this is the president of soccer. And they gave us the World Cup, and they did that because of me. And then he walked out of the room. It was just me and the president of FIFA looking at each other like, that was crazy.